All right, thank you, Graphic God, for hosting. Thank you very much. Alexa Bliss, thanks you. All right, so we are going to do a new thing because sometimes we get tired of talking about video games. So we're going to, and we're both very passionate about Masters of the Universe. So I want to introduce the one and only Hebot. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, people? I'm so excited and I'm so gratefully humbled for joining my friend Supersonic Station, which, as you guys know and follow him, he's become quite the He-Man guru with his great little videos.
It's your fault you talked me into it.
Oh boy.
I'm just.
Oh wow! I'm sorry.
You definitely helped with that Manny faces. Like, here's my.
Oh yeah. I wanted to send it to you the minute I started talking to you because I had an extra one. I have 3 actually, but I didn't realize that I didn't have the little piece on the head for the head to turn, and I was trying to look for it to send it to you, and I can't find it because it came with like a little knob.
Yeah.
So you can turn it. But I can't find it, so I was like, "Damn!" And then I saw that you had the Mega Construct, the Skeletor, and He-Man, which is basically Mattel's version of the Legos.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure he probably hasn't been able to find Tila or Beastman in his area, and I was like, I picked it up, I saw it, I sent it to you. Kind of, saying a thank you gift for your appreciation and for He-Man and for being so cool with me when we did the podcast with Dez, with UK Dazzler. We had a lot of fun, and then they how they were being funny, saying we have He-Man versus Skeletor, which I thought was cool. I thought it was really cool. We're on air or we're not on air because on my side saying off air, but I wasn't sure.
We're on air. We got people in the chat and stuff.
Nice.
Sometimes it takes a bit to show up. So I got kind of bad lag. So yeah, we are Masters of Universe freaks. We are collectors. I'm like small time. Here, I'm gonna show a quick video of just my collection. Then later on, we're gonna show his collection really quick.
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Go hit me with your best shot, buddy. Hit me with.
Here we go.
Go right ahead.
We got the faceless one. That's Manny faces you gave me. He's wearing the Skeletor face. There's his other heads right there.
I'm trying to see. On my end, I have no visual of it.
Just pretend you're looking at it.
Okay.
There's my Filmation little. I love the Filmation line. They're so cool. Beastman, Orko, Evil-Lyn. That came from you, Hawk. Yes, Hawk.
Yes.
And also Tila, Filmation Tila came from you, Skeletor.
And you have the option to turn Hawk into. It's basically, I think that's supposed to be his girlfriend, Stratos.
I think it says sister.
Sister. Yeah, it is his sister. But the other head with the alternate color is so that you can make the second character, which is supposed to be his girlfriend, I believe.
Right.
In the cartoon Filmation, but I forgot her name. It says it in the bios, I think.
I just showed Slush. Have you filled his head with water? I'm tempted. I want to do that on my unboxing.
Yeah, I did. I just got mad because it kind of stays spongy inside, and it's really hard to get it to dry up. It takes a very long while. So, I mean, I guess you could use a blow dryer, but then you don't want to make it too hot,
right?
Where it might melt the plastic. But I did do it, and I kind of left it like that halfway filled, like the original toy for the the new adventures. He's an awesome character, Slush.
Oh yeah, he is. And okay, here's my Horde army. That's how I started the classics. I'm like, all I'm gonna do is build a Horde army, and that's all. And then, oh my God, the classics have so many characters. It's crazy.
Yes. I can tell you this. I think it's without a doubt that we can all say that you are very fond of the villain side of He-Man.
Oh yeah,
the villain faction side of He-Man, and it's cool because He-Man's one of those. He-Man's one of those rare cartoons and toy lines in general that not only had one set villain, like the Transformers is against the Decepticons, and you have a GI Joe versus Cobra, right? In our era, He-Man had Skeletor, he had the evil hordes against him, and he also had the Snake Men.
I love I love the Snake Men. I didn't even know that much about him. Like I remember seeing him as a kid, but then I was like, whoa, these dudes are cool in the class.
Yes.
Even the 2000X line, they're just freaking amazing now.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do a quick shout out to the chat. What's up, Ali? What's up, Siberia? What's up, Graphic God? What's up, Stink Corpse?
What's going on, guys?
Tweet this out and host.
Great to be here.
Yes. So what topic would you like to go for? We are gonna show Oh, hold on, we got donation. Manny Pecker.
I love He-Man and all of his sexy friends. I'm not into Tila, Evil-Lyn, and the Sorceress because they have boobies. I like to collect peckers, hence my name. Don't judge me.
Thanks, Manny Faces. Thanks for a donation.
Here comes the money.
That's funny.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money
Believe it or not, these figures are extremely costly, especially now because the classics has stopped production because Mattel has no longer the master license for the figures because they chose to cut them and cut down from higher up at Mattel.
Yes. Wait. Before we get into that, I wanted to let everyone know we are going to show his entire He-Man collection. It's freaking huge. Like, this will blow you away, so make sure you stay till the end of the stream. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Cool. No worries. So I guess we could start by talking about classics. Classics was pitched, I believe, back in 2007, I think, 2006, by Mattel, or to Mattel by the fans, from a lot of community members in a website called He-Man.org, which is run by a gentleman named Val Staples and Danielle Gallardo, even Pixel Dan, I believe he's part of that Facebook group, and he helps out with them. They're really good friends. Another gentleman named Edmund, awesome dudes, all very big fans of He-Man's for many, many years, and unfortunately a very small, minute group because that's one of the problems with He-Man. He-Man's a really big cult following, but for some reason, it hasn't been able to catch that spark like other properties have throughout the years. Like we still have Transformers, so many different iterations, and even G.I. Joe, until just recently that G.I. Joe kind of has gone hiatus, and they even have a G.I. Joe club where you can buy figures that they gave them permission to use their molds to make existing characters from back in the day. But the problem is that the subscription is pretty high in cost. And it becomes a problem because you're paying for 3.5-inch figures, even though they're awesome, they're hand painted, their packaging is just like the originals, even obviously with the modern take, modern art. And then you have the wonderful articulation, wonderful accessories, even the little bases, but they're still 3.5-inch figures, and they go for like $35-$40 a pop.
They go for that, but like I'm gonna show you the let's see, I'll show you the PowerCon exclusives. The PowerCon is coming up in August, and it's like a Masters of the Universe convention, if anyone doesn't know. And so you can pre-order these figures. Wait, wrong button. You can pre-order these figures right here. So you could buy these 30. What were they? 35, 45 a pop.
You're talking about Filmation Spike-Core, Filmation Jitsu.
Yep.
And then the Trollins, which is Orko's grandfather and I believe his sister. It could be his girlfriend. I'm not sure.
I think it's his girlfriend because I remember seeing one of the cartoons where, it's like the tradition to take off their hats to show each other's faces before they.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Information. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay. No, I think the way it worked, because I pre-ordered them. I have all of them, as a matter of fact. On pre-order, it came out to a total of $155 with the shipping and with the tax. But I believe the original price for each was $35. So you're not too far away, from the ballpark figure. But reason being is because these are in smaller numbers. These are only based off, strictly ordered by pre-orders. Even for the people that are attending PowerCon, they have to pre-order it like months in advance, set up this ticket. They get these tickets by the mail. When they go there, they have to go pick them up before they attend the actual show and convention. And they have to line up a certain way at certain days at a certain time. Everything's really, really coordinated, but it's really in limited runs.
Yeah.
So it becomes extremely rare. And for the most part, most of these guys that go out there and that get them are real fans. But it sucks when you get like guys that are fans, but at the same time, they're trying to just get something for themselves and then pay off for what they got and overprice the other things to make a profit off of
eBay.
Yep. Because,
dude, I'm serious. Yeah. Like this Wave 2 thing. Here, I'll put on Wave 2 if I can find it. Mm-hmm. Real quick, Graphic Guide said in the chat, is there a new Zodak? And Ali Hansen, today is Eid off the Uri day in my country. Happy, I'm sorry if I tortured that name, but
no, it's okay.
Happy holidays.
Wait. Real quick, he's asking if there's a new Zodak in the works.
I think he's asking if there's a Zodak in the Classics line, which, yes, there's a couple of them, isn't there? There
is a Zodak in the Classics line based off Filmation, based off the toy, and based off based off
the 2000X. Did we lose you? Oh, wait, you're there. Yeah.
Am I echoing?
No, I just lost you for a second. Yeah, so there's the regular Zodak, then the 2000X Classics Zodak.
Right. I don't know if I have a delay because I see your feed on YouTube, and what you're showing right now is the subscription Wave 3.
Yeah, you're gonna have like probably like a minute delay, so I wouldn't even pay attention to YouTube. I'll just tell you what I'm showing. I got the
right now it has Dial-A-Mug. It has Dial-A-Mug that I see there. You have Karg, which is from the movie, and never been done before because they had to get the permission from the owners of the licensing for He-Man. Unfortunately, is Sony. For those who may not know.
What? Wait, he's what for Sony? What?
Sony owns the master license for He-Man's anything He-Man that has to do with the movie. That's why we haven't gotten a movie.
Oh, got you.
For so long. And that's another reason why I have a big gripe with Sony, because what they do is what they're doing basically with Spider-Man. They have a stranglehold with the property, and when it's about to come to an expiration, they'll try to do something quick and kind of crash course style, right? And don't really give you the quality that the fans and people deserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, they have a script that was written by the gentleman who wrote the Blade movies. Plus, he wrote a lot. He wrote Christopher Nolan, the Dark Knight movies. I'm trying to remember his name on top of my head. Oh boy, I forgot. But if I remember, tell Darius to come here real quick. When I remember, I'll tell him. Anyway, so he wrote the script. He was going to direct it, but then due to his scheduling, he had some problems. Something came up, so now he can't direct it. So now there's another gentleman that they're brothers that have done 2 independent films. That they decided to take the project on, and what they've done in the independent scene is very promising. They have a lot of style, and they're new. They're hungry. So, and it's still going to be off his script. And the gentleman's name, by the way, is David Goyer. A lot of you may know him. by the name alone. He's done a lot of scripts for many movies. So that character here you see in next to Dilemma, if you can graciously go back, Supersonic.
Yep. Wait, can you start with the first one all the way to the left first? Because I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Let's go through each one because I don't know who this dude is.
No problem. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Oh, that's Trapjaw. That's beautiful artwork. That's from that gentleman.
When we talk about
that gentleman?
Yeah, when we talk about the movie more, I'm going to show some. I guess it's fan art from the movie or something.
Yeah, conceptualized art from fans that they've been kind of sending to them to see if they can do takes off these styles of stuff that really wicked stuff.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It's H.R. Geiger type style, like the guy who did all the alien stuff. As a matter of fact, the guy that did the Aliens movies, H.R. Geiger, he's actually doing the designs for the movie.
Oh, nice.
Like the set pieces for a lot of people that may not know. So Sony's kind of trying to take this seriously, but it's only taken them how long? It's been since the original Mattel movie, He-Man movie. That Gary Goddard actually had ended up funding himself because they stopped funding the movie because the toy line had started to die off, and they didn't want to finish funding the movie. And Gary Goddard, the director at the time, he actually finished funding the movie. And made it with his own money. That's why it came out where, they had to do a lot of stuff on Earth because they couldn't do a lot of special effects scenes and shots due to the money constraints. Like that scene with Skeletor and He-Man at the end, everything was black on purpose because they were in the set. And that's the way they were able to pull it off.
Dude, I was so mad at that movie when I was a kid. I was like, where's Orko? Where's Manny Faces? Where's
Battle Cat?
Where's Trapjaw?
Yeah, but it was because of that.
Yeah,
it was because of the fact that they had no funds. Gary Goddard ended up finishing it up and funding. So right here, we're gonna start with the first row from if you're viewing it like I am, it'll be from your left all the way to the right. That robot-looking horde character is called Dilemma. He's from the Filmation cartoon, specifically shown in She-Ra, Princess of Power. And then the second gentleman, like I said, is Karg, he was one of the generals in the He-Man movie by Gary Goddard that was never made in action figure form at all. Because if you guys remember that follow He-Man, the only 3 characters that was made was Blade, Zarad, and Gwildor. And they never got a chance to make Grog or Korg. But the thing is, he's not a classic character that was created by the Filmation or by the original toy makers at Mattel.
Right.
So he could have been made, but had to do with the people that owned the rights to the licensing of the movie. So they finally got permission, and now he's being made by Super 7. Thank God for them for continuing to reach out, and because they're a smaller independent company, it made the process easier. When they do it through Mattel, because they're a bigger company and there's more money involved, obviously the politics come in. Everybody wants to be greedy. I want a piece. And it was a disaster, and they never were able to pull it off, but Super 7 did. Obviously, the next character is very well known. It's Filmation style Sorceress, which she looks absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
If you watch the cartoon, you all know how important her role is. She's the protector of Castle Grayskull, the one that watches over it. She's also the one that with telekinesis and mental telekinetic powers communicates with He-Man and She-Ra and Zodak, because Zodak is a cosmic being in the He-Man Filmation cartoon. And also, she's the mother that they never really said it, but they've always hinted at it of Teela.
Yeah.
So the fourth character.
Wait, before we go to him, we have how many variations of the Sorceress do we have in the classics line now? I know we got the white one, and we have one that kind of looks like this one. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is.
Do have the. The white one is the original concept art of the comic book, because a lot of people may or may not know. I know He-Man fans do that He-Man started with the toy line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what they did in order to keep a lore, because they weren't able to make a cartoon right away, because it was a new property. They didn't know if they were going to get popular with the kids. They decided to put comic books. And that was the lore of He-Man that told the story. So that Teela that's white was the one from the comic book, which later on Classics was able to bring out as a Comic-Con exclusive. And as a matter of fact, it was a New York Comic-Con exclusive. Because that's how I picked her up. I went to New York Comic-Con that year.
And then I'd seen the Classics did the 2000X version, but they also had like another Sorceress that looks like this one. I guess that was just based off the toy line, or the old.
Oh, the Sorceress they made from Classics is based off the original design of the classic cartoon, of the classic toy, he Masters of the Universe. But she was also a very rare character that a lot of people never got. She was one of the only few characters that I never got to make my whole collection complete, because I had everything. I had every vehicle, every beast, every castle, and every accessory that was sold separately, with the exception of certain ones that only came out in Europe. And Sorceress happened to be one of them, even though she became a very important character in Filmation, because I believe she was introduced through the Filmation cartoon originally. So they made her in classic form, but based off the toy. And now this one is based off the actual look of her very first, debut, but she debuted in the cartoon as the Sorceress. So they have her, and they also have...
hold on, time out. We got a donation from Teela. Hold on.
Will you motorboat me? Teela loves the Wong. Fisto me baby all night long and ram man me from behind. Blub 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 blub. I just love boobs. Battle Cat needs some pee pads. Oh my god, you killed Kenny.
He said Battle Cat needs some pee pads or something. Thank you.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
Here comes the money. Thank you.
Here comes the money.
Thank you. Very nice. Oh yeah, Scott Pilgrim definitely rocking it. I love it.
Okay, so I guess we can move on from the Sorceress now, but yeah,
Sure.
she looks good, man, for real.
Oh man, she looks beautiful. And then obviously the next character at the very end of the first row, at the very end of the on your right, is Merman. Merman, this is his classic Filmation look from the cartoon. He looks incredible. He looks just like he came out of the cells from the original cartoon of Filmation, and it's amazing. Oh, I see a bunch of fireworks.
Yep, that's what happens when a donation pops up, and then we get Alexa.
That's awesome.
Now what's cool?
Awesome.
Cool is they do have a merman based off like the toy, but like I love these Filmation characters because you are correct. Like when I got Beastman, I'm like, whoa, he looks like he just came out of the cartoon. I cannot wait for Merman. So I'm holding off on the regular Merman. Like I've got these.
Even Trapjaw.
These all I have all these pre-ordered, and I'm already seeing these going for like $100 each. I'm like, whoa! I only paid like $30 each for these. I'm like, there's some scalpers out there. But go ahead about Merman.
Well, the thing is, Sonic, this doesn't make sense because we don't have a venue where we could get a lot of He-Man toys. So, being that it's in a pre-order system, I think it's fair because for fans like you and me that really love this stuff, this makes it easier for us because we just pay for it. We don't have to worry about not being able to get it in our hands. We just got to wait and be patient until they get shipped out and they're finished, which is not easy because you get impatient. And,
oh, yeah, it's like a year. It's like a year sometimes.
Right now, it's been almost a year, that we paid for these. And they're still not done, but the word is they're supposed to ship out that week of the San Diego Comic-Con, which is July 28th, which would be amazing if it is true.
I'll be happy.
Because I know it's gonna be worth the wait for sure.
I do like that formula though. Like it's just they just make them as people pay for them instead of having like all this overstock, which kind of hurts like toy lines. You have all this overstock, then you have to mark them down, but you just sell them at the price that.
The other problem too is when they have to do, because when they do it in the store, it becomes cheaper for them as far as the production, but then they have to put doubles of the main characters like Skeletor or He-Man. Then you get all the peg warmers because people only buy the main characters or only some of the characters, and they don't want to buy, let's say, somebody like Tongue Lasher, the Filmation. They won't buy him, and then he becomes a peg warmer, and that's where the problem comes in. But the cool thing also, Super 7 gives an option where I think for a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks, they let you buy them single also if you don't want to get the whole set. But it's only for a limited time. You only have a limit. You can only get 2 or 3 at a time. So you have the next row when you start over here, in the second row on the bottom on your left, he's the mummy character. I forgot his name, but he's from the Evil Horde from Filmation. From I believe is also either from the comic or from Filmation cartoon Princess of Power.
I've never even seen him before, but I'm glad there's. There's another Horde.
First, let's you guys know something straight. All these characters that you're seeing being created, even though you never saw them before in the original classic storyline, they're all from the He-Man lore. Whether they're from comics, the cartoons of Princess of Power, the New Adventures, which is when he went to space, or from the original Filmation from, obviously that we all grew up with. The thing is that they didn't make every single character.
Right.
He-Man has such a big, diverse lineup of characters that there's literally at least another 150 figures that they have to make. Yeah. That's how many characters there's in He-Man.
Yep, exactly. I think it's very awesome that they make the DC comic character. Like, there's just so many. Like, I've seen, I think, every classics character. Then I start watching the cartoon. I'm like, dang, they could make that guy. There's still so much more.
Yes, yeah, and people don't know that because they grew up with the ones that they're familiar that were iconic. Like He-Man, Beastman, Triclops, and Trapjaw. The Wrecking Crew, or the familiar ones that everybody's used to. So the second one here, after the Mummy one, that's this Grenada. She's part of the Rock people. They actually introduced her into Filmation as well, cartoon. She's the sister of Rockon and Stondar, which I happen to have myself. I love those two. Those two were some of my favorites, and that was in the era of the 80s where they were having toys where even the Transformers, they had the jump changers, where they were doing toys that would transform from figure to some type of inanimate object, whether it was a rock, a radio, a bicycle, and just with a press of a button, you just lift them up, boom, and you saw the figure. So it was really well executed, but with these, obviously, they have articulation, so all the parts are actual detachable. You attach them on, and then you can turn them into a rock, a comet, or a stone, and also use them as figures. Her name is Grenada. Then, obviously, the man of the hour.
Wait, let's get back to her for 1 second. I love the Rock people, but they were only in a couple episodes of She-Ra, but I still love them. They're awesome.
Yeah, no. I love the original toys. They were one of my favorite ones.
I am
right now. I have two Sonic. I have open and one in box.
Oh, nice.
Because I just love them so much. Yeah. I bought some that I kept in mint on card. Like some of my favorite pieces, I bought doubles of.
No.
Because I, in case they break, I want to make sure that I have something to back.
Right. I am super happy they made her, but there was another Rock. It was a little girl, because I remember seeing the episode. They have a fourth Rock person. They might have more. I don't know.
Probably so, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I never watched the entire Filmation cartoons because each season had over 56 episodes.
Yeah.
So I can't remember them all. And plus, I'm older. I'm 42 now. I'm diabetic, so I forget things as well. So forgive me to your audience, but I am being honest. If I don't remember, it's not because I don't care. It's basically I just don't remember because, like we said, me and Sonic, He-Man has such a vast variety of characters in the toy line that goes from all factions that you can't just remember them all from the top of your head. So we have here the man of the hour is Manny Faces, the third character, and he's in Filmation style, which he looks incredible. He even made him where the top part is flat, where they did it this way in the cartoon because the toy had a knob in the top where you move the head. But in this way, in form, in the cartoon, this is how they got away with making it seem that it was natural and it was just a helmet. He's supposed to be an actor, believe it or not.
He's either actor or schizophrenic or multi-personality.
Yes, because what he does is he acts to perform for the Queen and Queen Marlena and King Randor, which are the parents of Prince Adam and She-Ra, obviously, Adora. But at the same time, he uses his powers when he turns into his different forms, which is a robot, and I believe a monster.
Yeah, when I saw an episode, he turned into the monster form, and then Beastman could take control over him.
Yes, he gets actually the attributes of the things he turns into. So if he turns to the monster, he becomes really strong, and he becomes kind of a savage and vulnerable, because, like you said in that episode, Beastman took control of him. And then when he comes to robot, he's really strong as well. He can navigate. He has powers. He can see certain things like scan through walls, which is also pretty cool.
Okay.
So he's not only an actor to entertain, but he's an actor that he capsulized the form that he turns into and he gets those powers, those attributes as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sonic.
Him and Orko are buddies. Now, by looking at Manny faces, do you think they're gonna let us change the faces? I mean, what do you think's going on with
I think they're gonna execute it through the back.
Oh,
to the back.
Nice.
Like the back of the helmet probably is a little noob or a little spin thing, and you'll be able to turn it from there. I think so. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, the reason why Sonic is asking to the audience is because in classics, so that they wouldn't how can you say hurt the articulation, they took off a lot of the action features for a lot of figures that had action features, but they kept the action features on figures that it wouldn't hinder any of the articulation. In this case, Manny faces work well because you could still keep the action feature and it didn't hurt the figure as far as the articulation. And it goes to saying, well, it marries itself to this version as well. So I think it's just going to be, instead of the top, the head, it's going to be in the back where you can't see it. It's not visible, but you can still have the articulation of switching the faces and the personalities. But he looks great. I can't wait to get him. He looks awesome. And the Filmation one looked incredible. And I mean the classics one, and then the 2000X looked amazing as well. His gun was a little bit bigger and exaggerated, but they did it by choice to make it more like a toy.
Right.
And also they came with action features, but at the same time it had like a very anime style to them. And then the last one is not one of my favorites, but I said I'm gonna buy the whole thing because I'm a completist. I have to have them all. I really don't like him because he looks too plain, I guess. This is basically Tongue Lasher. And Tongue Lasher for the toy version is extremely different than the version they did in the cartoon. He's kind of like a toad frog, if you will. But he's purple with hot pink highlights.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on? Because I saw the cartoon, and I remember the Tongue Lasher they're showing here, because he even has he's a snake man, but he was like trying to join the horde or something like that, and he was like shorter. I wish they would have made him like a little bit shorter or something, because that's how he appeared in the cartoon.
Well, he looks, to me in this version, he looks like a little young brother to Lobster, to Triclops, Lobster, like Clawful,
yeah.
Which also, in some people, for me, his name was Lobster. The version I bought, the name was titled Lobster.
Oh wow!
Because and some people had one Clawful, because I didn't know if he was a crab or if he was a lobster, and they have different names in different regions. And for me, he doesn't look like what he's supposed to be, which is a type of frog, a toad frog. He looks more like a crab person. So I didn't like the design too much. I'm not really too happy about him, but I do like that he looks just like the cartoon, so he's going to fit in very well.
Yeah.
And he's just one of those things that in order for you to have everything as a completionist, he's basically what you would consider a casualty of war. You have to get him, even though you have a love-hate relationship with him. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I kind of like him just because he looks just like the cartoon. So
right.
I mean,
so same thing. Same. That's the way I feel because they look like you know like the cartoon. I think it's great. You know, and to like add to that, to give you guys an example, I have, for example, I don't know if you can kind of zoom in on me or not, Sonic. I have here, you know, the version of Triclops, right? He's the version of Triclops for Filmation.
Hold on, I'm trying to find you.
As you guys can see, I have it in the camera. I don't know if you can see it. This was one that was done by Super 7.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna mute myself because if I talk, then you'll just see my skull. So go ahead and talk about him.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is Triclops. He's one of the from the Wave 1 from the Super 7, and he looks aesthetically just like the cartoon as well. His sword is designed from the cartoon, and then he has this little phaser type gun. And it looks simple and kind of plain, but that's how it was in the cartoon. So they captured his look incredibly well. A lot of people were upset because the green on him was kind of really bright green, but it looks like that when he's under a lot of lighting, like good lighting, it makes him look almost like a neon green. But when you have him in hand, it's not as green as people think. But then the crazy part was that when they talked about it, the actual original cell from the cartoon was like a neon green. And the thing is, when you translate it to the cartoon, it kind of dulled down the green, so people thought that originally it was a darker green like the original toy. But we found out later that it wasn't, and Super 7 explained that, but they got a lot of slack for it, a lot of slack. And they said it wasn't their fault. But again, and then this part here in the top, for a lot of people, the visor came stuck. Mine's came the same way. I looked online and they showed how to do it.
Yeah, I saw people air drying it and stuff, but do you have it loose where you can pull it up? Because underneath it's pretty interesting.
I went online, I saw what the people said to do, and I did it, and it worked fine for me. And now it moves, you see? So for all those who have the figure, I'm moving the entire head. You see, for all those who have the figure that thought that it didn't move like I did originally, you see? Second eye and then the third eye. For all those who thought that, he's not straight. Wait. For all those who thought that it didn't move, the good news is it does. The bad news is you have to be extremely patient and careful how you do it because you don't want to ruin it. But it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. If you follow the instructions of the people out there that showed how to do it, you will be able to do it. It really wasn't that hard. Because what happened was the paint made it get stuck because the paint on the inside got stuck with the top of the head. But it's really one piece on the top that's not attached to anything. So as soon as you put hot water on it or with a blow dryer, maybe a little see, me, I wouldn't recommend it with a flathead because it might ruin and bend the plastic. I did it with my hands. I just kept on nudging on it and it popped right off. And what I did was I had popped I try to be careful holding the head because I don't, with some of these classics that they're doing to Super 7, you can't pop off the head and remove them like the original classics that Mattel did. I don't know if it's by design or what, but and same thing goes with the armor. Some of these armors look like they could have been made where you take it off, but you can't. They glued them to give them a more slender look and more accurate look. Because a lot of people complain with the classics ones from Mattel because the figures would look kind of poofy or too thick or have too much girth, and it would be because of the armor. And as you see, he looks very slender and accurate to his
Filmation
counterpart.
Graphic has a question. He says, or a statement. He should have an eye with makeup when he was looking when he was looking when he was looking for sailors. I have a question too. I know there's two Triclops, one based off the toys, one based off the Filmation. I know that
there's actually 3.
Oh, okay.
There's 3.
And then I know what one when you lift those eye things up, you could see like something in his eyes, like his eyes are like this, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, well, that you got to thank the 4 Horsemen. The 4 Horsemen are actually the guys who sculpt these figures. They sculpted many figures in the past for a lot of people. They do a lot of the WWE wrestling figures from the Elite line from Mattel that you see in Targets and Walmarts that sell like hotcakes. They do all those. That's why they have very good articulation, very good likeness. And the thing is, these dudes do not use face print technology like a lot of places are using now, like they're doing with the Black Series. That is laser print technology, which is amazing because you can capture the likeness of any character, especially with the human characters, almost to a T. They almost look scary, like Hot Toys quality, but on a 6-inch figure as far as the look of the figure in their faces and the sculpt. But these guys are tremendously talented because they did this all hand sculpt. And all the figures that they did, they always try to add a little extra attention to detail. So what they did with the Triclops was, since they couldn't make the 2000X version, they made the figure just like the the toy version, right, of the original vintage, but then added a few of the little aesthetics and details from the 2000X line, which is was more in a Japanese anime style. They underneath the visor, you could pull it up, and they actually had like these cybernetic plates with circuits going around it. That actually is the technology that lets him see through the visor with the different eyes. Because the reason why he has different eyes is because each eye does different things. One's a stethoscope, and one's a periscope, and one sees is like a heat vision. One is a laser. You know, like that to give you an idea of what they were going for. They also gave him the ring that it came with the original vintage toy that glows in the dark, which is awesome.
I remember that.
They also, and they also added in the back, like this spot where he had little daggers that he could pull out and throw. That was from the 2000X cartoon. And they also gave him the colors in the, in the shorts or, the loincloths that they wear, kind of, that it looks more like a barbaric. Made it a little longer, so it gave it a nice stylized look. But yeah, they did the Filmation, they did the toy version, and they did the version of the 2000X, but they never got an opportunity to bring it out in the 2000X cartoon toy line when the new cartoons from Mike Young was out in 2005. Excuse me, guys. To give you an idea, this is a character right here, right?
Oh my god, I wanted to get him so bad.
His name is I'm sorry, Sonic. His name is Squeeze, right? He was one of the characters that was designed by the 4 Horsemen for the 2000X. And as you guys can see, if you see the original one, it's completely drastically different than this version. This here is not a figure. This is what we call a mini stat. It's a staction. Basically, it's a mini statue.
NECA statue.
Right. NECA produced these in small runs, right? After the toy line finished in 2005.
Oh, wait. Jago says hi real quick. Sorry.
Hey, how are you, Jake? Great to have you here. And what happened is that these stactions, right, were in a limited run, right? But they were extremely affordable. They were $20. But the sculpting was originally from the master maquette of the 4 Horsemen. That's what every toy designer does when they're creating figures. They do this master product maquette, which is about 12 or maybe 18 inches big, with all the details, hand painted, the airbrush and everything, to show the people, to get the idea of what they're going to do when they size it down to a 6-inch figure or 7-inch. Because the classics are like 7 inches. They're not really 6 inches. And his name is Squeeze. He's part of the Snakeman. But if you can see his design, He's drastically different than the original toy, even though he has every single detail and color. Like, the claws are they're snakes, but they got claws on the top, kind of like Wolverine, which is because they're his hands. So not only his hands are snakes, but they're also claws, and he claws people like Wolverine. And it's absolutely beautiful. It comes with the base, but they're very delicate, so they can break. This guy is very rare. Sonic could attest to this.
Yeah, like he goes for like almost $200 or over 200 actually. But the only thing I don't like about the NECA statues is, like, I got rid of mine because I'm just scared I'm gonna break them. Like, I'm always...
Well, they're very hard to put away. I agree. They're very hard to put away. When I put them away, I put them away and wrap them up in bubble wrap, and put them in the box, and they stay perfectly fine. The plastic, because the thing is, these statues also have certain parts that were like plastic, and so those things kind of warp. But once you have them out and you wet them with the hot water or with a hairbrush, blow dryer, it usually does the trick and nothing happens. This statue is already over 10 years old, and it looks pristine. I know it's not going to come off that way to you guys through my camera, but that's an example of how the Four Horsemen did that with 2000X, and then they translated that over to the classics to make them look like the original toys, but still give it a more modern look, and articulation was amazing.
Yeah,
it was like, I think,
can we
30
Can we talk about the 200X thing for a minute? Because I kind of want to know, like, how they failed, or not failed really, but how did they? What happened, basically?
Okay, what happened is, as you know, with every toy line, the target market was kids. And when the toys came out, they were out because there was also a cartoon. And it was I believe it was in Nickelodeon. No, it was in Cartoon Network. Sorry. It was on Cartoon Network. But the problem is, from the moment that it came out, they had a very, very risky time slot. So it didn't pick up a lot of audience. Even though the first season did very well, it granted it a second season and up to a third season. But after the third season, they just couldn't find a bigger audience because they just couldn't find the right time slot, because they had other popular cartoons and kids were not watching it. The same thing happened with Thundercats, the newer ones. So the problem is, they did the episodes in these cartoons where back in the 80s, when you watch the cartoons, right? They would give you figures with accessories and different features, but they would never really explain it. The only way it was explained to the kids, like us, was either through the comic or the bios in the back of the box, or the back of the card backs, what we call, right? So what they tried to do was to make the cartoon more fleshed out, give it a more depth, which I completely appreciate because I loved the 2000X cartoons. They're amazing. They did each episode dedicated to significant characters, and they even explain all their attributes, why they came from where they came from, how did they came from there, what were their background. They basically gave an origin to almost everything, but they got so in depth that they gave even origins for the vehicles and explaining why, the castles, the beasts, and even in this case, the armors that He-Man and Skeletor would use, right?
They had so many variants on the 200X. So
yes.
So they lost.
So
they lost the rights to make those, and then what you said, Super 7 took over.
It wasn't that they lost the rights. What happened was, because this was all Mattel. Mattel always had the master license. What happened was they started doing all those variants from all the cartoons and episodes, because He-Man and Skeletor were the main characters. They figured, the kids are gonna love them. But what they did was the distribution was terrible, because what they would do was they would put 15 He-Mans, 15 Skeletors, and then the other characters that were iconic that people wanted, like Manny Faces, Mech-a-Neck, Ram Man, as an example, they would put 1 or 2 in each box.
That's weird.
So yeah, the distribution was terrible. So what ended up happening was, because they did this, as you all know, how many He-Mans you're gonna have on the peg of, Snake Armored He-Man, Snake Armored Skeletor, or Battle Armor He-Man on the peg that are gonna stop selling? It's gonna be a matter of time when you're just gonna have peg warmers and nobody's gonna buy them, because whoever bought them, whether it's kids or adults or collectors, already bought them.
Right. So many variants. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And they were priced correctly. They were priced at a very reasonable price. They were like, I think, $15 each. Beautiful packaging. They had some, like maybe 10 points of articulation, maybe 8, but their sculpting was top notch, phenomenal. They had action features.
Oh yeah, dude, Trapjaw. Oh my god, he's the coolest looking Trapjaw by far.
Oh, I have it too, and I will tell you guys the same way I promised to my friend Sonic that I will do a video showing my collection of the 2008 of everything that I got. I'm only missing some of the stuff again that came out in Europe, like I did with my original vintage. But I couldn't find it, and now when I try to find it in the aftermarket, like for example, they got a flocked Snake Armored Battle Cat and Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, those things are going for an astronomical price. They're called the Snake Man edition, because what they did was when they brought in the factions of the villains of He-Man, that season was dedicated just to those villains. Like season 2 was all Hordak, and then season 2 was all Snake Man. Then season 3 was all Hordak. And they gave origins of He-Man going as far back as his ancestor named King Grayskull with his Battle Cat's ancestor, which was Battle Lion. It was really awesome, really cool. Even Queen Grayskull, which is ancestor to Sorceress.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen the 2000, I call it 200X. If you haven't seen the cartoon of it, I don't know if they have it on Netflix, but you can watch it all on YouTube. It's so cool. Yeah, they show the origins of everyone. So
I own them. On DVD. I wish they come out on 4K or Blu-ray, because I would love to pick them up, because they're worth just the art alone, because they went with such a nice artistic style that was so fresh and new. Even when the battle scenes was very Japanese anime style, with the mixture of Americanized Western. It was incredible. They even gave the origins of somebody like Stinkor, which I'm gonna bring him over here real quick. So you guys
I'm gonna be jealous. I've been trying to get him for a while.
Stinkor, hold on. Let me see if I can grab him really, really quick.
He's freaking expensive.
Here is 2000X Stinkor.
He looks off. Wait, I'm gonna shut up so you can see it.
And they made him where he even has a protection gas, right, to protect himself from his own stench. That's how strong it is. That even himself can't withhold the stench. See, and that's the attention to detail the Four Horsemen brought to the He-Man characters. Even the loincloths right here of every character. In the original, everybody had basically shared the same buck from the crouch down. With these characters, they did everything new from the crouch down to give them their own identity. Like this piece is nothing like the original. They even give them the nice new style of boots. See?
Awesome. Hey, hold them up there for a second. I got to talk real quick. Graphic God has an important question. He says, "What do you use to drug for women to get them to agree to let you buy so many He-Man figures, asking for a friend?"
I guess the only drug that I can honestly tell you that I've used with my wife, that I've been with for 23 years, to convince her to allow me to do it, is just being honest and loving her and telling her what they meant to me, because I do have a story which a lot of you guys may not know, which I'm pretty sure you don't know. I was part of a wonderful documentary by a wonderful director that was a big fan of He-Man named John Carroll, and he did a documentary called Playtime Masters, and he did an open session where people that wanted to be part of it could try to join, and I did. I gave in my pictures, my story, and he graciously picked me. I was lucky enough. I was one of the people he picked, and I'm part of that documentary. I'm part of the interview section of the documentary, and I give my story on how I got into He-Man and what happened to my collection, things like that. So if you guys are interested, and I'm not trying to do a plug here because I did this over a year and a half ago.
Plug away, dude. I want everyone
No, because, some people are sensitive about these things.
No, dude, I'm not. You plug anything you want on here.
No, if you're a fan of He-Man, you can go to playtimemasters.com. The movie costs $5. It's only digital. They don't have it for DVD. You can't buy it no other way. It's connected to your email, so you never lose it. As long as you have your email, you could always activate it, watch it whenever you want. And you can see the documentary. It's about an hour and a half. It has 2 parts, and it's an awesome documentary, especially if you love He-Man, because a lot of the stories you guys may be familiar with when you were kids, or you may connect. And it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. It took almost 3 years for him to bring it out. So once he brought it out, as you guys may suspect, I was ecstatic. I was happy. But if you're interested in knowing my story in detail, you can see it there. Because we want to get into a couple other stuff, and we just have a limited amount of time tonight. And I don't want to exhaust you with my ugly mug. But because it's about He-Man and the toys. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So, to give you guys another example of a beautiful character also they did in 2000X that was never made in toy form is Mosquito. As you can see, he's another very expensive staction, very limited, that a lot of people couldn't get their hands on because they used to sell these in FYE. I don't know how well he's coming in. Let me know, Sonic, if he's coming in good enough that you guys can see.
Yeah, he's coming in great. I'm trying not to talk so people can see.
You see his boots, and as you can see, they gave him his pistol, but his pistol's connected with a cord that goes into his backpack, which are blood tanks that he collects when he sucks the blood out of people, which was never in the originals, and they added on just to show you the kind of detail that the Four Horsemen put to give these figures even more depth and to the look of them. And he's more lanky in design. And the good thing with this figure is that I can actually show you the 2000X because I have it here next to me as well. I mean, the classics from Mattel that they also sculpted, but it's from the design of the toy line mixed with this guy here. As you can see, even the chest plate looks like it has blood in it. I don't know how well that's coming in.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
it almost looks like it's jelly in there. So when you look at it, it looks like frozen jelly, like when you make jelly and freeze it in the refrigerator. If you guys know what I'm talking about, we used to do that when we were little. He's beautiful, and I want to make something clear to everybody. The reason why I have all these things is because I've been collecting for over 23 years. I didn't get this overnight. Masters of the Universe particularly took me over 10 years to get where I'm at, almost 11 now. Oh no, actually 11 now. And I'm very grateful to have each and every one of these pieces. A lot of these pieces I only have one of. I don't even have doubles. So as you can understand, I take care of them like they're my holy grail, because they really are. And they mean a lot to me emotionally, because a lot of fond memories when I was younger. And
I take care of all my stuff very good, except every episode on YouTube. I make everyone beat up He-Man on every episode.
Right. I loved your episodes you do. I think they're so funny. They're great.
Well, there's like so many reviewers. Dude, that's one thing that I am going to ask of you right now. Like, you have such a passion for this stuff and such a knowledge of this stuff. And I know you've showed your collection on YouTube and stuff, but I would love for you to progress your YouTube and do an episode, like a review, a little story behind it, like a 5-minute thing on each figure. You'd have so much content, and I would 100% support it.
That's so kind of you to say that. I would love to do that. I really would. I mean, considering that you have what you call it, inspired me especially seeing your videos. I was thinking already that I would start doing something with the waves that we're going to get from Super 7 soon, and the comic, the PowerCon exclusives. So if that's a good entry point for you, I will definitely do it.
Please.
And for whoever else likes it, So but thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I love He-Man. A lot of people may or may not know, but if you follow me, you'll know. And here I have the Classics Mosquito, which is basically based off the design of the original toy, but with some of the details added from the 2000X. And if the first thing you can see here, is the two tentacles in the back here. That was part of the 2000X design, and they gave it to him. They didn't give him the backpack. I wish they did. But you see, and then his original boots.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that, dude. Hold on, Graphic God has a question.
He highly recommend.
He says,
but he's pricey too.
Graphic God says, I have an interesting story about my collection. I was 12. My home got broken into, and the thieves stole my dad's hunting rifles and a big part of my He-Man's collection. We later found some of my collection in the woods near my house, all blown to pieces. Oh my god.
Really? Wow, how heartbreaking. For both reasons, because you guys got broken in, and then they actually were so cruel and shot up your toys. Jesus, who does that?
It's messed up.
Wow.
Sorry, that sucks, Graphic God.
Yeah, that does.
I think Sting Corpse has all his still in storage. He's got a collection too.
Yeah. I like I said, I have a lot more stuff, but it's impossible for me to be able to have it out or even display it. I wish maybe someday when I have a big enough house that I could display it in my man cave downstairs. My whole man cave would be full of nothing but figures of He-Man and other stuff I collect. I collect a lot of stuff. Like I said, 23 years. So yeah, this is Mosquito. As you can see, his gun is significantly different. There.
Nice.
So that's kind of like to give you a compare and contrast. I'll put them both side by side. I don't know if my camera could take it, but so you can see.
Yeah, dude. That's one of the ones I want to get because I'm trying to complete my horde, and I need Mosquito.
And I would recommend for you to try to get the Staction too, but I know it's pricey, so I don't know.
I just
maybe in a flea market or something someday, maybe you might run into it. I hope anyway.
I had some statues. I'm like, I'm not even gonna start collecting these because they'll just get broken. I'm just gonna drop them. But oh my god, the statues are just. Tongue Lasher, the statue. I mean, oh my god, they're freaking amazing.
Yes, yeah, they're very, very nice. The Hordak looks incredible. I have Hordak, I have Jitsu, I have Grizzlor. He even comes with real fur.
Jitsu's so expensive.
I have Webster. Webster looks incredible.
Dude, do you have Webster close to you? Because dude, he's fucking awesome.
No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
That's okay.
But I will. I can definitely do a showcase just for you. Like I'll do a review one day of the Stactions so you can see them all. I wouldn't have a problem doing that. I apologize. I do have on me here. Here are the He-Man 2000X. This is Volume 1.
Nice
DVD set. Here's the back with Skeletor. And then I have Volume 2. Like I said, it says in the bottom there, Volume 2. Covers Skeletor and Evil-Lyn.
I love Evil-Lyn.
I also have the comics that were done by I think IDW, with incredible stories from 2000X and the art style too. Look. Then we have Season 3, which were, like I said, the Snake Man. I don't know how well that's coming in.
Wait, that comes good. Hey, hold on a second. Do you have that book that has the collection of all the mini comics, or did you already show that? I want
and
that
there's
so
Zodak
bad.
from 2000X, real quick. You see Zodak? That's the 2000X Zodak. So you see the design. is very similar to the originals, but also at the same time has a very more modern take. To answer your question, Supersonic, I do have that book. I don't know. I might have it somewhere here. I'll see if my wife can do me the favor and check for me.
Oh, it's no big deal. It's an awesome book though. It has like all the mini comics that artwork so
yeah.
amazing.
No, it doesn't. It's cool because those mini comics are really hard to acquire because you have to get every figure to get them, and people sell them separate in the market, aftermarket, for quite a bit of price. They're pricey. So they teamed up with, I forgot what's the name of the company from Scholastics. I know it's from Scholastics for sure. And then they did they acquired with Daniel Gallardo, got the permission and did the legwork and got all the rights to be able to put together this whole collage with all the comics and even the comic strips of the newspapers and all bunch of stuff that had to do anything comic related and put it in the book. I also have the one where they give you backgrounds of every character, and then there's one where it gives you all the backgrounds of the vintage toys of every toy that ever came out and things that didn't come out that nobody's ever seen unless you own the book, which is awesome.
Okay, I got another question. Like these things like increase in value pretty quick, it seems like. Even like if you don't have the box, like I've seen people pay more for them like loose figures outside of the box and even inside the box. For instance, like my Filmation, that's how I get away with buying Masters of the Universe. Sometimes my girlfriend comes in and she's like, "What are all these Barbie dolls?" I'm like, okay, look at this. Look how much I paid for Filmation Skeletor. Then I show her online, and it's like $300 almost now. Like it went up.
Yes.
They go up in
the reason
value
for
so
it.
quick.
I guess you're asking me the reasoning for it, or no? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. Well, your reasoning and your opinion, and do you see it keep increasing?
The problem is that they're not. See, Super 7 picked them up, right? And what ended up happening was they started off with the Ultimates line, which basically introduced a lot of the figures that came out right at the beginning of the classics that people weren't able to get, like Faker, Ram Man, Tila, which I thought was great. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people didn't get a chance to get those because they found out about the collection very late in the game. So in order for them to try to catch up, they had to pay big, high prices, which really didn't seem fair. And right now they have a lot of figures that they need to do like that. Like, for example, Fisto, Scareglow, even somebody like a Stinkor or Triclops. They go for very high prices. And I think that when they do the next Ultimate Wave, those characters should be considered. I was lucky enough that I got 2 Scareglows. I have 2 Beastmans, 2 more Mermans. I have 2 Robotos because there's not a lot of Robotos. The Ego's pretty pricey. I have 2 Sorceress. I can't think. But
guess what I got coming? That one reason I'm very broke.
Go ahead. Which one?
It starts with an S.
Are you getting the Sorceress?
Nope. Well, yeah, I pre-ordered that. I finally found. I had to get it from Canada. Shadow Weaver.
Oh, did you? Shadow Weaver's pricey, dude. How much you get it for? If you don't mind me asking.
$120, but like people sell her for like $300 sometimes. It's crazy.
Oh my Jesus! So, $120 is not bad.
Yes, I got a good deal.
For the audience, the reason why that figure is so expensive was Mattel did the way they did it where you couldn't get the figures was through a subscription model. But in order to give you an incentive to get the subscription for the whole year instead of just getting a handful of the characters, if you got the entire wave, the entire year, they gave you an exclusive character that you could not get any other way or otherwise. No extra prints, no extra anything. So there's some people that got 3 subscriptions just to get extras so they can have. And we're talking about over $300-400 for the subscription for the year, people. And that's the only way you were able to acquire them. That's why those figures like Shadow Weaver, perfect example, she's never been done. Even in the original cartoon, in the original Princess of Power, even in the Adventures of He-Man, she was never, ever created. Ever. The first time they ever made her was on Classics. And then they happened to kind of smack you in the face so that they would make you get the subscription. They gave you a pivotal character that so sought after and so many people wanted for so many years. And unfortunately, that was the only way you were able to get her. I got one. That's it.
Yep.
So I keep mines where I don't even touch her because I'm scared if she breaks or anything, I can never replace her because I don't want to pay, like Sonic said in the aftermarket, $300 just to get her. She's another perfect example of Super 7 doing an Ultimates version where they could include her because a lot of people didn't get a chance to get her. And that you have cool characters like this, comic book style Trapjaw. He's neon green, literally with burgundy colors. Comic book style Trapjaw.
Nice.
This was a Comic Con. I mean, this was a PowerCon exclusive 3-pack with villains that was only available to PowerCon with Super 7 in the helm. See his face. Very menacing.
He looks evil.
Yes. Yeah, he looks evil. His jaw on this one, though, unfortunately, like I said, when Super 7 took up the master license, they eliminated some of the things. So his jaw on this one doesn't move. He still moves and has the interchangeable hands, but his jaw, and he's like a neon green color. Very vibrant. And the thing is, people, for the audience watching, these figures, when you get them in hand, it's very different than when you're watching them. Because you can actually see the detail a lot more pronounced, and it gives you a different appreciation for them because they're really, really, you can tell they're high quality and that they are hand painted or even airbrushed. If I had to guess, with some of them, and it really see and understand why they're so pricey. But because they're done in limited runs, because these are not mass produced, that's the reason why the price keeps going up. In my opinion, does that suck? Yes, it does. But it's a property that doesn't have a lot of love, and a lot of people don't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah, it's so detailed. Yeah, definitely the sculpts, the paint jobs. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at my desk, like, and it's so cool just to come in here and see, like, just nostalgia, adrenaline drug.
I bet you dude, right now, you're going through that fever. That's why you haven't stopped buying. Because you bought the first two, then you're like, I don't really want to, I want to just get some. And I haven't stopped seeing you make video after video. I was like, oh, he's hooked. That's it. They got him.
Yep.
Because they're so cool. And then when you get one, well, I want to check this one. When you get another, oh, I want to get this one. So it's like, they're awesome, dude, and it's addictive. This is another example. Look, this character has a very nice story to him.
I want him.
His name is Cychops, right? I consider him, well, the Motu, community consider him like the Edward Scissorhands of He-Man. He's super cool. For me, his face, he reminds me of Ron Perlman. I don't know if you guys can see that. He has a see-through, translucent, like Roboto. And when you move him, you can see the insides move like Roboto. And then he has like Beastman's feet. Very detailed and hairy, full of ears. And these hands, these scissor hands, they move. They're removable.
And he's a Horde member, right?
Yes, he's a member of the Horde. I forgot who created him because the way he came to be is they did a contest again, like they did many years ago in the 80s for He-Man, where fans could, put in their drawing to see who would win. But the difference was back then only one person won, and it was this kid that created a character named the Fearless Photog, which his face was literally made out of a camera, and he would, X-ray people and put them in a coma. That was his powers.
Oh yeah, I saw a video of that. Yeah, like I forgot who the is that the guy who won it? Like I remember seeing 3 different characters that were in that contest.
Yeah, no. So what Mattel did now when they had the classics to pay homage to that contest, and look, you could actually put he comes with pieces that are very similar to Trapjaw, and you could put them on. So I gave him the Hook, Captain Hook side chop. That they made they were designed by certain particular people. For example, the kid that did the Fearless Photog, right? His was actually created because they never got to do it. Even though he won, the toy line came to an end and they never got to create the character in toy form. So they finally paid him the respect for winning and did it and send them a bunch of them so he could give to his friends and family.
Nice.
And this character, I forgot exactly who created him. I forgot who it was. I'm trying to remember. I don't know, Sonic. Maybe you could look it up for me. Sidechop, the creator of Sidechop made Motu Classics. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I will tell you there was another knight called Laser Lot that was created by Jeff Johns, the creator of Green Lantern. There was one called Castle Grayskull Man. He was picked by a gentleman named Daniel Benedict. He does a lot of independent stuff for He-Man, like he does cartoon, like he does commercials making fun of the way they used to be done back in the day with the toys, and he does it with the He-Man toys of now, and he did the movie on the web called Grayskull something. He did like a little internet movie with He-Man, with one of those wrestlers, independent wrestlers that played He-Man. Did a great job, fantastic. He created a character called Castle Grayskull Man, and he's basically that. He's a man that looks just like his face is Castle Grayskull's face. It's supposed to be the entity of Castle Grayskull materialized in human form, which is a cool concept. And then they have Drago Man, which is a Dragon Man, which was created, a brand new character by the actual sculptors of the toy line of Classics and 2000X. They gave, obviously, because there's the sculptors that, make a new character. They did 6 entries. Then the Mighty Spectre was done by the actual director of He-Man, the toy line at that time, named Scott Knightlick, because he had put an entry when he was younger and he didn't get picked. But because he was the brand manager for himself for Classics, they said, you know what? Since you're the brand manager, you can solicitate your figure now and we'll make it, which I thought was cool, because without him, to be honest with you, none of this would have happened, because he pushed for it hard. He really was passionate about getting these out, and thanks to him, that's why we're still getting stuff even now, because he had part of the to do with the idea and the transitioning for Super 7 to do it and continue, and now he works at I believe it's Playmates or something like that. Or the you have got a Target or even a Walmart where you see those big plastic figures based off Halo or DC characters. Have you guys seen them? How about you, Sonic? Have you seen them?
Nope.
Well, he's behind those figures.
Oh wait, yeah.
Those, yeah. So he's doing those. So Side Chops is like the Edward Scissorhands. Just to show you the type of dynamic, this is another cool character that's doing the same aesthetics of the world of He-Man. That's what makes He-Man so the toy itself, the world, so unique, because they had characters of all types, like quirky, different, but they made sense because it was a world where you had creatures made of alligator people, skunks, robots, some mutated alien. Cybernetic creatures, a bunch of stuff mixed with humans. Look how menacing his face looks.
It kind of looks like Tongue Lasher with fangs, like a walrus fangs.
Yeah, he looks like a walrus, but he's a snake dude. Those are his 2 snake teeth.
Does he have a Snake Man logo on him?
Yeah, right here, right on his.
Love that logo. I love that logo and the Hordak logo.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
And he's so well painted. Dude, this is one of my favorite figures right now. He even has a snake that looks like a snake on his that you put on the side of him. But it looks like a bat with a snake together. You see that?
Nice. Yep.
He's like a mechanic too because he came with this wrench looking thing. I don't know if you can see it. You see the wrench? And the color, the paint apps are incredible. And then we have, again, things that were never done before. Like from the comic book, we have a character like, let's say, Lodar, which he basically looks like a character from Mad Max in the He-Man universe.
He looks cool. They also have some chick, I forgot who she is, but she looks like she's from Mad Max too, the girl with the mohawk.
Oh, Huntara. But she was from the Filmation cartoon. This character is basically straight up from the comics. He comes with that chain there. That chain was in the Filmation where He-Man couldn't escape. There was these chains made out of these special power that was super strong. He couldn't break them. But they're like a nice plastic. I don't know if you can hear the sound. His name's Lodar. Awesome fit.
That's another cool thing about like the Masters of the Universe classics. They bring back all these artifacts and stuff that were in the comics, Filmation, everything. I love the artifacts too.
Yeah, and that was thanks to the Four Horsemen because they made that a point when they started doing the classics collection. They made that a point to add like little accessories or artifacts, like you said, from the cartoon that people may know that are iconic that would never necessarily made, right? So we gotta thank them for that. Salute and hats off to them. Because they really cared. What made it so important, you could tell by the figures, and it showed by the way they sculpted them, because they cared. They were big He-Man fans growing up. Like they did these, the Fighting Foeman, and this is Shield Maiden. Cheryl, I think, or Cheryl, Shield Maiden, Cheryl, or Shield Cheryl Maiden.
Dude,
something like
I know that. I'm trying to get those. They come in a 3-pack, and they have weapons based on the vehicles, which is so cool.
You see her shield? That's basically the Attack Track's wheels. Then her chest, as you see, is the symbol of what was on the side of the Attack Track. Then her gun, if you see here, was the 2 guns on the back part of the Attack Track.
And they also have little horde things you can stick on them too, correct?
Yeah, you can remove the plate like this. They just basically pop off, pretty easy for the most part. You see she has a hole there. And then you just pop in the horde symbol. Right now I don't have it on me. They're on the shelves, but yeah. And these are cool, which also wants to bring me, it's kind of bringing me to segue into one of the topics that I wanted to talk about He-Man, that a lot of people that collecting these were like, oh, you know what? I feel that it's okay if they stop making them because I feel the classic collection is complete and finished. And I feel that they still got a lot to go because I want everything that came out from the vehicles to the castles. Like I'm one of those people that really want them to make the Snake Mountain that they showed 5 years ago in Comic-Con.
Oh my God, that's freaking awesome! I'm gonna see if I can pull a picture of that up.
Yeah.
But I do have one question before you get more into it. What the hell was Classics think, or not Classics? Was it? No, it was 200X. What the hell were they thinking when they made Castle Grayskull? That's like the ugliest Castle Grayskull I've ever seen.
You mean the toy one?
Yeah, the 200X one.
I have that one too. I do.
It's
not as bad as it look, I guess, when you have it in person. But I do understand what you're saying. I do agree. The face, oh my God, compared to the classics, no way, no comparison. I agree with you. You know, so and you know, and the thing that really bothers me the most is because they could do this as a pre-order model, and people won't have a problem doing it that way, because you know, like here, look, I have Destroyer. He's the Roton driver. These guys were created. You see his staff is basically the spikes that were around the Roton. His chest plates, the front part of the Roton. His gun and the guns from the side of the Roton. These characters were designed because they used to do like model kits back when we were younger, that you would glue together and snap on and stuff. And they created these characters inside the vehicles, which were they were called the drivers for the vehicles in the box art. And they created them on the classics, made them fit in with the design and the mold and the sculpting, and they look like they should have been there from the beginning, from the original vintage toys. And he's basically the driver. He has his hood on and everything for the Roton.
Hey, I'm gonna pause you for 1 second because I can't see you. I got the Snake Mountain up right now, so I'm gonna show it to people what this thing looks like.
Sure, no problem.
Look at this thing. And this was shown where?
The Snake Mountain?
Mm-hmm.
I have a little delay. The Snake Mountain was designed and shown at San Diego Comic Con. I would say about 5 years ago, 3 years ago maybe. It was pitched to them so that they would make. Yeah, that's it. I can finally see it. It was pitched to them so that they can make it, but it was going to be based off a pre-order as well. But this thing was like twice the size of Castle Grayskull in size, not and width. So it was going to be a lot pricier. Castle Grayskull cost about $250. That one right there you're showing is a resin statue. A very high quality resin statue.
Graphic God said, "Does New Snake Mountain still have a cheesy microphone?" Oh no, they had smartphone stuff in it now.
Graphic God, what they did was they did a technology where you were going to use your phone app, right? And with the phone app, you were going to be able to program it into a microchip from the that's inside Snake Mountain, and you were going to be able to talk with different voices and even give it more features with the phone app on with the toy, which was going to make it even pricier. But they were talking about maybe $400 or $500 for it. Honestly, the what makes toys so expensive is the PVC, which is basically the oil that they use to make the plastic, because oil is very expensive, because we get it from other countries, right? Obviously, and most toys are manufactured here. Like these, especially toys like these. That's why it was pricey. So I would not mind paying for it because this thing was, like I said, about 3 times or 2 times bigger than Castle Grayskull. And Castle Grayskull is huge.
Yeah, that's like $500 now. Do you want to continue? We'll continue showing your other stuff, and then we're gonna show your whole collection in a montage video. Then we'll talk more classics or just more stuff.
Now, if you notice right there, Sonic, real quick. They did a hybrid of both. This has the combination of the original Snake Mountain toy and try to give it the look of the Filmation cartoon with the snake wrapping around in the front. That's what they did with this. That's what made it pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Even that like lava thing looks freaking cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So, the face on the right is definitely a throwback to the old school thing. I'm glad they don't have that stupid long bridge that the figures could never fit on. But
well, even if they put it on, you saw I had the throne from the Filmation that was supposed to come with it. So guys, look real quick. The Roton is here. This is the Roton. Look at my face. Look how big this thing is. This is the Roton, and it does move. This thing does move like this. And then it has the canopy, which was designed for the model kits. So they added it on and painted it that color. But you could actually remove it and keep the classic look of it. I did a review of this on my channel. and it comes with the stand. And yes, it pops out of the stand. I'll show you in a minute if I can. Pops off the stand, see? And if you put it on the floor, it rotates as you're driving, and it moves. It has the action feature. You can't see it, and it has the guns where you could actually pop them out here and place them in another spot, or place them further to the front. So the beauty with these vehicles, though, the beauty with them is that the way the Four Horsemen designed them is that there was no stickers. That was the whole idea that they started with when they decided to do vehicles.
Dude,
they said,
hold on, we're corrupting people. Graphic God's gonna buy Snake Mountain now.
It looks gorgeous. I don't blame them. So basically, what happened is they decided we're gonna do these hand sculpted, hand painted, and no stickers, because a lot of the toys from the vintage era, when a lot of people owned them, but since with time, they got messed up because of the stickers. So the stickers would get messed up. And I'm going to show you another vehicle, which is, the battle ramp. As you guys can see.
Nice.
This is probably my favorite vehicle of all. E-Man vehicles, next to Land Shark, of course. Everything there's obviously, done, and then the jet sled in the front does pop out like so and becomes a second alternate vehicle. And just to show you the type of detail with no stickers, this is all. And Graphic God, look, this for you and Sonic, Super Sonic. Look at this. Oh, shit's out.
You shot me.
Yeah, I got you. You saw that? Right from the
hold on. We got a tip from Who's Your Daddy.
Buy me all these. I want them. I want Shira to ride my train.
Who's Your Daddy wants Shira to ride his train.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Thank you. Dude, that vehicle is awesome.
Oh yeah. You gotta get it. You have to get at least the Wind Raider and the Battle Ram. Sonic. I definitely recommend it.
Whoa, that Wind Raider looks way bigger than it does on the store.
Oh, it's huge. Look. And that's the Wind Raider pilot, people. There he goes. His wings is actually his weapon as well. And it does do the whole battle action.
You got flight stands for that?
Yeah, I just took it off the flight stand so I can show it off better on camera. And the cool thing, inside the Castle Grayskull, there's a spot where you can put the flight stand. You can actually put the Wind Raider in the Castle Grayskull. That's how big the castle is. Here's the flight stand. Very nice and detailed. It says Masters of the Universe right on it. Just place it on the top here, like so. And there you go. And it you can move it up, down, however you feel. And then it has like some nice compartments here where they opened up, or if you want, if Duncan Man-at-Arm, aka Man-at-Arm, wants to fix it, he can fix it. You can see there little compartments. All this in the original was a sticker. This whole thing here, but now it's like a pop-up decal, and it's fully like painted. But then the wings, move up and down. You see?
It's awesome.
You can hear it. They have like a ratchet feel to them. So the Wind Raider. Then I'm going to show you another bad boy. And the reason why I'm showing these is because I think it's pivotal for Super 7. Here's the...
Yes. Yes.
Here's the point dread, right? And then we have, you got to press a button here. Hold on. You have to. And then you have the Talent Fighter. This thing is humongous, dude. Humongous.
Isn't there like okay, maybe it was on 200X, I don't know, but they had like a Talon Fighter that didn't, it looked more like a bird, but this one looks like the vintage one.
Yeah, it wasn't made. It would have been cool because the design was awesome. It was really not, and look at all this detail inside. I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
All that stuff is sculpted.
And then those three figures you had that had like the shield, the Talon shield, and
oh yeah, I have the figure for him too. His name is Dogator. Dogator, and like I was trying to tell you guys, that piece, even though it's considerably big and super high quality, it wasn't really that expensive. They sold it for like $135, and it came with the figure of the Filmation Tila that didn't really resonate with everybody, but it wasn't that bad of a figure in my opinion. But except for the face, she needed some work. She looked like a cheap $2 whore. No, here's Dogator. I have him on a stand. You see, his chest is, and his malice is basically the guns on the side, and then his shield is the point dread, as you can see.
That's so cool. Welcome back, Ali.
Here goes Dogator. Yeah, he's from the Fighting Format. He comes with that 3-pack that you want, Sonic.
I want that, and I want the rock people. Like I want those, and the snake army builder set, and the man-at-arms, whatever they're called, the Eternian.
Oh, the Eternian Palace Guard. Yeah. So the reason why, I say it's pivotal because there's so many more iconic vehicles that they never got to, like the Land Shark, Dragon Walker, Road Ripper, Bashosaurus, Mantisaur, Destroy, the Flight Fighter, Attack Track, Blaster Hawk. So many vehicles.
We don't have Attack Track. Dude, I remember seeing like the commercials of like Land Shark. Land Shark.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, used to. Oh man, those were the days. Yeah, that thing was never made, but they are making which I think Supersonic did a nice little stream to raise some money to get the Strider.
Yes, and I failed. Right? Like I was so close because I only had like one more. I was like one day to get it, and I was like so close to getting it.
Oh, you mistaken. I got you. Oh, that sucks. Look, I have the Night Stalker. You see?
Yep, that's awesome.
And it's fully articulated, people. Even the tail, the gun in the back, everything's hand detailed. His neck got like all this range of articulation. The legs.
I'm jealous.
Oh man, I really hope you get your hands on these things because I know how it feels when you want something really bad, a piece in your collection.
No, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I was like super close. Like I was like at the day of trying to do everything I could on streaming to get it. And...
Right. They even added CC4 Horseman added something that he never had, which was this nice I don't know what's the proper term for it, like a mask for the horse's face. Maybe graphic, God knows. What you would put in the face of a horse, like royal horses, to protect them, or back in the Knights era. But you could remove it and get the classic look.
Oh, that's so cool.
See, which is awesome. I always kind of leave him with the classic look, but for the purposes of the show, I wanted to show it so that you guys can all see. And I have a wonderful character, classic character here that you guys are gonna instantly probably recognize. That came with I have him on his steed is Jitsu.
And he's not
samurai.
He's not cheap.
Oh no! Look at the sculpt of his face. Look at the details of his face. And look, this piece here was part of Classics, the way he looked in Classics. I mean, in 2000X. You see that? You can remove that. That was added on later. Same thing like these two sides. In the back, you see?
That's awesome. So this is what we're getting with the what is it? The PowerCon exclusive. He's called Jitsu, or he's called what?
But the Filmation one, yeah.
And then
they called him something else, I think, right?
It's like Chopper or
Chop Hand, something like that. Because I think it has to do with something with the licensing rights or something. Here's his hand.
Hold him up, and then I'm gonna also put up the new one that's coming out.
This would be the classic look from the toy, mixed with a hybrid of the 2000X, and then the one that Sonic is showing is basically the cartoon version of him.
Hold on, I'm on a slideshow. He's gonna come up in a second. And
no worries.
Here's the new one right now. Okay, let's see yours again. Oh, you'll have to talk though.
Oh, sure. Like I said, I don't know if you guys can see it because I'll have some type of delay on my end. But this is the classic one from the toy line that was redesigned with a hybrid of the 2000X. And I want you there's the slideshow I see. And what I wanted you guys to see is, if you notice, I took off the harness piece and he has the classic harness here on the growing area. You know, the classic piece that all the Motus had, that they shared. You know, like in unison with the entire collection, and obviously the boots, the classic styles of the boots. And I really hope it's coming in well, so you guys can see at home. And here's the piece to give you an idea, to show you. That was from the 2000X, and they gave you separate, that you got with either another character when you bought them, that came with less accessories, or that you got with like a weapons pack type deal.
Oh yeah. Hey, also keep in mind, people. I'm showing the Wave 2 right now. Keep in mind that this Wave 2 is also going to come with weapons and accessories. They're just not showing it on this picture yet.
Oh yeah.
So the Sorcerers is going to come with their bird and all that stuff. Everyone's going to come with weapons.
Zor. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ricky.
Yo, Ricky. Come here, Ricky.
I call her Ricky for short. Can you bring me the Jitsu action so I can kind of show it to the audience?
That thing, the NECA statue. Oh my god, that thing's expensive too.
Come here and I'll show you, babe, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry for talking to you like that when I'm live, like if you're like my pet or something. I don't treat my wife that way, people. It's just coming off that way because I'm trying to do it as discreet as possible. Oh, you know what he was. Thank you. See, that's how you know my wife pays attention. Good. Here you go. He's one of my favorite 2000X design because he just looks so fucking badass. It's the best way I can put it. Here you go. Here is the new design for the Jitsu of 2000X. This thing here is very delicate, and I have to be careful because it breaks easily. He has his sword. He has a very mechanical look to him. There's his face. His hand is huge. Then he has boots, are really distinct. And as you guys can see there's that harness I was talking about that they adapted into the new one. Has a very samurai look to him, because that's what he was. Unfortunately, when I got him, you see these here, is to put the side pieces, but the guy lied to me and said he had them because I bought him open box, and he didn't have them.
Oh man!
But this guy, when you try to buy him new, oh my Jesus! Tell him, Sonic.
Yeah, like talking
right now,
400,
like $500. Yeah, like $500. I was like, holy crap! So I'm lucky to have him because he also came with a little figure of a character, which looks like a little teddy bear almost, called Otifice, which later on in the cartoon they explain. Here, honey, you could put it back for me.
And people sell that little character for like crazy amounts of money too. That little tiny.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't even looked separate. Wow, that's crazy. Otifice, for those who may not know, becomes Stinkor in the 2000X. That's the origin they gave. And he's created that way by Count Marzo. And Marzo was in the original Filmation cartoon. And they made a 2000X version, which looks awesome, also, which I have. So far I think we've tackled almost everything, with the exception of maybe the upcoming movie. And
let's
of a new cartoon.
Let's talk about the movie real quick. Then I want to show your collection. We can talk about some stuff. I want to show some of this fan art stuff real quick.
Okay, but real quick, if you let me, Sonic, if you may, or if you let me, if you don't mind, I want to show people that this is Pantro from the Thundercats.
Nice. Wait, talk while you're doing it, or else it won't show up.
Now, the reason why I'm showing Pantro is because the same people who created the Masters of the Universe, the Four Horsemen, sculpted these for Mattel at the very end before they closed the store. They finally got the rights to the license of Thundercats, and then something happened where they sold the licensing to someone else again, and the license was lost for the rights of the master license. When I say master licenses, you have to have licensing when you do toys for figures, and you have to have the license for 4-inch, 3-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, 18-inch, and 12-inch. Believe it or not. That's why when you see the NECA figures in 6-inch, they're always usually a convention exclusive, because they don't have the master license for the 6-inch or 4-inch, or even 5 1/4. And that's what happened with Thundercats. So now you can see the Thundercats in the Loyal Subject style, but you haven't been able to see it in the classics. This is using classic He-Man books and parts altered to look with the aesthetics of the actual Thundercat. There goes his face, beautiful skull, and that's his nunchucks, and that's an actual real chain.
And we never got all the Thundercats, did we? Like the whole line that.
No. The reason why I brought it up is because Super 7 is right now trying to get the master license back, but they're going through a lot of hoops and stuff like that, and they have a lot of politic problems with the licensing. I'm pretty sure it has to do with money, more than likely, because that's another thing that they made the Thundercats cartoon, and it didn't really do well because of time slot issues.
Wait, so what do you think? What do you think about this new Thundercats cartoon?
Oh my God, the new ones! I'll be honest with you, they look really cool for a 5 and 6 year old, because it still keeps the essence of it, but just the dumbed down quality of the animation that's definitely for little kid 3 and 4 year olds, not for the hardcore fans, not for us.
It's kind of insulting to me, actually.
It is, but I look at it this way, and a lot of people say, "He-Bot, you're always trying to find a positive nature to everything. You do it with Microsoft. You do it with with He-Man. You do it with Thundercats. You do it with everything you like. But I just like to be realistic because the reality is times have changed big time. Most kids in our generation now of that were our age when we were that young are not into comics anymore. They don't read comics. Are not really into cartoons anymore. Are not really into toys anymore. That's why Toys R Us is leaving and closing down. Well, one of the reasons.
Yeah, it's just a thing. Like instead of figures and stuff like that, now kids are just playing on smartphones and tablets and stuff instead.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons for sure. But also in Toys R Us case, a lot of bad business decisions, greed, a lot of things, we can get into. But it's a dying breed in the sense that that's why a lot of the toys that you get now are either dedicated to an online service or in a particular place like a novelty store, like a comic book shop, and that's why they're so pricey because of you just can't mass produce them anymore because it's a risk, and these companies will lose a lot of money. But the thing is, the quality of the figures have grown exponentially. They're
way better,
super high quality, super detailed, hand painted, handcrafted, hand sculpted, articulations of the wazoo. They come with stands. They come with extra accessories, extra hands, extra weapons, extra heads. They just come. They're definitely not like toys when we grew up,
right?
For sure. And these kids don't know how lucky they are to have them. But us now being adults, because compared to the toys we had when we were younger, these things smack all over the toys that we had. It's hard to resist because we just the nostalgia of it, the appreciation of the art form, because this is an art form, obviously, that we grew up and bred it, and our parents bought us everything because we kept wanting them. Hey, mom, dad, get me that, please, 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 please. And it became big. But now with the kids now, they rather be on their phones. They want to grow up to already have kids of their own and their kids. They want to drop out of school and do stupid things and not really, have ambitions to do more. So toys for them, they look at it, oh, that's stupid, and it's sad. So that's why I'm glad I was lucky that I was able to bestow it and push it on my kids. So now my kids, especially my daughters, are very big on collecting. They're very big on collecting. They want to collect all the expensive stuff like Sailor Moon, SH Figure Arts, the DC, Suicide Squad, SH Figure Art stuff, or even stuff from Rebel Tech or Hot Toys. They want all the expensive stuff, so it's dangerous, but at least they like them,
I want
Monster High.
I want Kingdom Hearts figures now.
Did you see that collector's edition? I think those figures are actually articulated figures.
Do they have a collector's edition? I was asking.
Yeah, they just showed it today.
Oh, no way.
And I think there are, yes, it comes with the main character, which I forgot his name, Goofy, and Donald Duck. You got to check it out.
Oh my God.
I'm they're articulated. If they're articulated, man, I think I'm going to get it, because for me, there was 2 collector's editions that were done in video game history that were the best. And
hey,
they don't
hold
do it
on.
a lot anymore.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but while you're talking, I'm going to play your collection. I don't expect you to talk about your collection piece from piece, because obviously you're going to be delayed, but I'm going to have that going on in the background because it's so freaking huge. But
that's okay. That's great. Thank you. What I was saying, that oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Jesus. Yeah. In my experience with like games, they did 2 collector's editions, which I got my hands on both, that I thought were great. First one being the Tomb Raider reboot, that came with an actual figure of Lara Croft from the Play Arts Kai collection, and it was a figure that you paid $100 for the collector's edition. But in reality, the figure alone, if you bought it by itself in the aftermarket, the figure alone was about $80. So you got the game, steelbook, the soundtrack, the art book, and the figure for only $100. I thought it was a steal and a fantastic collection. It was an actual figure that was articulated and had high quality production on it, not and accessories and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't a statue like they do now with most of these collectors. Even though they look cool, but like I love the Recore one, and it's huge, but they're not really figures. They're more like plastic rotocast statues. And they did one for Dante's Inferno, that if you pre-ordered it in GameStop, you got a 6-inch figure from NECA, fully articulated, of Dante, the main character.
Nice.
Not Dante. What was his name? The main character from Dante's Inferno. Was it Dante? Yeah, Dante. His name was, you know what I am confusing it? Because you also have Dante from Devil May Cry. So I'm thinking, oh, did I say that wrong? So I thought I said it wrong.
Hey,
yeah,
I got another question. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, this figure, the figure with the purple dress, you'll probably see her in a minute. When you first start your video, who is that? She's got like skull hands.
Let me go to the other screen where you're doing that, so I can tell you.
You'll have a delay, but she's got skull hands. She's in a purple dress.
A figure. Right now, I'm seeing Despara, Skelcon, which is the skeleton minions from Skeletor from 2000X.
You'll see her. Like, you don't have to name people because.
Is she in the first shelf? Is she in the first shelf?
Yeah, very first shelf. She's the only one in the purple dress. Like she looks like Shadow Weaver, but it's not Shadow Weaver.
Oh, you know who that actually is? I use her because she's like in the form of a statue. I actually use her because if you take off that face, you know she has like a human face. She's actually a skeleton underneath. That's Lady Death from Thanos.
Oh, I was like, who? I was like,
yeah, that's Lady Death from Thanos.
I see Shadow Weaver back there in the corner. Okay, go
ahead. Yeah, but since like the guy with the 2 arms, the giant, that's Procrustes.
Yeah, he's
in the video.
Freaking cool.
I said the wrong name. He actually holds the core of Eternium together, but he's from the comics. They never made him. But the figure in real life actually looks like tethered rock. Yeah. But it's plastic. But it looks like real rock.
He's a giant too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's about 12 inches. But he's rotocast, but they still have articulation and plastic to them. They're very quality, you could tell.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the Filmation shelf that you see there.
Jeez, you got so many. I'm so glad you got Shadow Weaver.
Oh, dude, you see how I have her in the back, almost like an outcast, because I'm afraid to touch her.
It's like, don't you dare fall over.
I made sure she stays in the back. Yeah, I got Lord Mask, Plundar, Shakoti, Evil-Lyn, Batros, Fang, Octavia, Scorpia, Voltac.
That's one that went as Scorpia.
Okay, see that Zodak? Look at his hands. You see that his hands have like white gloves? That's Filmation Zodak.
Right.
That's why he has the gloves. And then you see General Sunder back there from the Filmation.
You're behind us, so we're seeing different stuff than what you're saying.
Oh,
I'm looking at the white sorceress right now. She looks freaking awesome.
And then I go for the Wind Raider, yeah. And that shelf you have King He-Man, you have Hero.
I was trying to get that King He-Man, but every time. Okay, I got a question.
With the subscription, he was also exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. So, MattyCollector.com, is that like? I mean, I know it's still up, but is that whole subscription thing done, or whatever?
No, it's not up anymore. It's completely closed down. They probably have it up like when you look it up, but it's not being maintenance. Like there's no activity.
Oh, okay. So
what they did is they liquidated whatever pieces, I guess, or inventory that they had, and they put it in the MattelShop.com, where you can go to Mattel Shop and you'll run in to some of the He-Man pieces, like the vehicles, the beasts. You'll run into them from time to time because they'll put them up on sale. That's how I tell people and recommend to them to try to pick up as many pieces as you can when you see them dirt cheap. Like the Point Dread, they had it on sale literally for $45 at one point.
Dang. So
Matty price.
Okay, what about like if someone's wanting to like say there's rumors of a pre-order coming down, so would they just go to the Super 7 site?
No, now everything's through Super 7, yeah. Everything they're doing is only be strictly through Super 7. Mm-hmm. And what it looks like, it's indicative that it's going to be for Thundercats as well in the future. Like today, Super 7 announced that they're doing the new wave, I think it's wave 4, for the Kenner style He-Mans that look like the old school classic Kenner Star Wars from back in the day, the 3-inch.
Yeah.
3.5 inch.
I don't like those.
They're nice though. If you look at them, they're nice, especially when you see them up close. But I like you, I agree. I'm not a fan of them, so I never collected them. Yeah.
Oh my God, you got so much stuff.
That green guy you saw there, that was the concept of Skeletor. His name was Demo Man. Vicor was the concept art of He-Man. From what I understand, the cartoons have been in the works 2 or 3 years before the Conan movie was going to come out. I didn't know Conan existed from the 30s as a comic book or a novel. I didn't know that. Somebody actually told me that recently. But because it was so similar to the Conan style,
they're scared.
By the time the cartoon came out, they actually changed the color. That's why He-Man's hair is blonde as opposed to black. And they made it shorter as opposed to longer to make him look different so he wouldn't look like Conan the Barbarian. So there wouldn't be no lawsuit dispute or anything like that.
Right.
But the idea of He-Man actually came out before the Conan movie. So that's kind of like a little tidbit of fun fact that maybe a lot of people didn't know. I just found out myself just recently. Yeah, I'm buying the New Adventures of He-Man. Are you there too?
Mm-hmm. And like, are those worth a lot or hard to find or anything? The New Adventures, or I mean,
the New Adventures out of all of them from classics right now, it looks like they're the easiest ones to acquire, like the cheapest, because they didn't really have a big fan base. Me personally, I fell in love with them because they look like classics and feel like classics. So I just pretended that it was He-Man in the future. You know what I mean?
Right.
As opposed to in space, it was just Eternia, but in the future. That's how I look at them. Like that Tuscadar, oh my God, that figure weighs like, kid you not, like a good 8 pounds.
For real? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's heavy. Yeah, because he's huge. He's got a lot of girth, like Ram Man. I don't know if you ever seen Ram Man.
Oh, he's coming too.
Oh, you bought him? Oh, he's pricey. I don't know how much you paid for him, but he's pricey.
I got him like almost half off of what they're supposed to be.
Okay. Ram Man, I have the one from the Ultimate Collection that Super 7 re-released. And that Ram Man, they gave him the card back colors, where it was like an orangey with a matte gray.
I got the one with the darker color because I thought he looked cooler. Is that the?
Yeah, that's the one, the original vintage color.
Is that the better?
Red.
Is that the better one to get?
Well, that's the original. That's the vintage colors. Yeah.
Cool.
I just happened to get it because I bought that Ultimate Collection as a set in the pre-order.
Nice.
So yeah, so to answer finalize your question, the New Adventure stuff seem to be the cheapest out of all that stuff from all the classics. Like if you want to dive in to try to collect them again, those are the cheapest factions that you'll probably be able to get everybody from that faction for a very cheap price, even Tuscadar. And he's a what you call deluxe figure because he's very big. The packaging is huge.
That's cool. Okay, I got another question for you. Okay.
Sure.
So, I mean, you could go up to like 5 or about 5 figures, or even if you need to do more. What are the holy grails of the classics line?
For me? Or for the generalized
as far as
community?
Getting them and price and stuff, like what are the holy grails of it?
Oh, you mean to try to get now, like online?
Right.
Definitely Sorceress. Definitely Shadow Weaver. Scareglow. Fisto for sure. I could even say Triclops and Trapjaw. They go for pretty high price. Maybe not as high as them. Anything that's the exclusives for the subscription, like Shadow Weaver, glow in the dark, or not changing colors. Orko, there's one that you dip in water, and he changes colors.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he's very pricey. King He-Man, because he's also an exclusive one. Wonder Bread He-Man. Wonder Bread He-Man. I'm trying to think who else. Sorceress. Skeletor and He-Man, the original ones. They're fucking pricey. Beastman is very pricey.
What,
like,
dude? Why
the classic Beastman?
Why are the Filmations Skeletor and He-Man so expensive now? Like they went up in price so fast.
Remember, they made only a certain amount, and now they're adored because they look so good. Those classic ones, what? They're sought after now. The ones that are from vintage, the ones that look Filmation, everybody wants them. Even though they concentrated when they first came out on complaining about how the ankle joints looked on the boot cut.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like what they did with Xbox. They were concentrating on resolution, even though they have beautiful games like Forza Rise. You know what I mean? Kind of the same idea with the toys. They concentrated on the way the joints were cut, instead of concentrating on the whole figure as a whole, which looked incredible and amazing. You know, because you own them.
Yep. Oh, I see Zodak now. Is that? Well, that's the 2000X Zodak. I didn't even know
he comes with it. He comes with a helmet. Face.
I had no idea he was black, honestly.
Oh no! They made him black for the 2000X cartoon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he wasn't black in the original. In the original, he was a Caucasian, but he was a cosmic beanie.
I like him. I like him black with those marks on him. He looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, the marks, and those marks actually glow in the dark. Like when you have them out in the light, and you turn off the light, they glow in the dark.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and but the thing is, they made them black, I guess, because they wanted to give more, different types of characters from different ethnics. Because remember, they only made one black character, which was
that girl.
Clamchat.
Oh yeah, Clamchat. But on She-Ra they have a. I think at She-Ra they had a black girl.
Hold on, 1 second.
I don't remember what her name is.
Hey, where's the wire for the computer? I need to charge it.
There's Snake Man.
I think it did fall. Hold on.
Those are. Oh, I got him. I got Mantenna. I can't. I think that's his Neku shelf.
The Mantenna for the new one is amazing, because they gave him 4 individual legs as opposed to all the legs being sculpted together like the original toy.
Yeah, I got him. He's freaking awesome.
He looks incredible, and he's such a big figure.
He is. Yeah, especially
such a big. Like you can't tell until you got him in your hands. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm looking at him right now, and he's freaking huge.
Yeah.
I want that snake
If you notice with this... Oh, Snake Face is incredible. I love his design also. What was the other... You asked me something else, right? Sonic?
Yeah, probably. I don't remember what it was, so... We're in your NECA shelf now.
That Hordak is incredible. Do you see I have the little buses that they're statues, but really mini? I got those at a fantastic deal. I couldn't pass it up. I got each of them for $5, believe it or not.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yes. I went into a comic shop. Somebody had traded them in. I guess they didn't think it had any value. And I bought the whole entire set.
Tell me about these little... Okay, I'm looking at your little miniature... Not the little Lego things, but the
minis. Yeah, those were the minis. Those were also released by Mattel because they showed them off in Comic-Con, kind of just to like goof around. Oh, look how these cool they would look for little kids, to kind of get the new kids of this generation interested, because that was when the whole blind bag thing started, where kids were going crazy for little blind bags.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to do the little minis. Which were a little pricey, because each figure came as a 2-pack, and it was $20.
Ouch!
But
See, I think they're adorable, but they remind me, like, at E3 when they showed Gears of War and the pop heads came out. Like, I think they're adorable, but, like, I just don't want them. If that makes any sense.
You don't need them. I just got them because I thought they were cool looking and because I want everything He-Man. But that's just me. Not everybody feels the same. The ones in the back were loyal subjects. Those are incredible. Those I recommend to anybody because they're like mini classics. That's basically what they are. They're fully articulated, hand painted, have a lot of accessories, and they have action features and everything. And they got articulation. That's why I recommend them. I can still get my hands on them too if you're interested. Like I said, Sonic, if you ever change your mind. But that's wave one. I have those. I have G.I. Joes. I have Street Fighter figures like that.
Nice.
And Thundercats also from the loyal store. You see the little scare glow I have? Then I have the four so far of the Mega Constructs from Legos. And you know they're making the Wind Raider, right?
Are they? Nice.
Yeah, I got to send you the pictures. As a matter of fact, maybe you could look it up on your computer. Look up on Google Image Mega Construct Masters of the Universe Wind Raider. They have the packaging for it.
Cool. I'll check that out after the stream.
Yeah. Oh. Only $20, and it comes with Skeletor and He-Man.
That's pretty cool. I got do you also collect like the vintage Masters of the Universe?
I try to get some of the stuff, but it's hard, Sonic. It's hard.
Is it hard just because the classics look so much cooler, or just?
Yeah, it's hard for me that way too because I think the classics just look so much better that I feel like collecting the vintage is a waste of time. A lot of people would call me, blasphemous and call me sacrilege for that.
And there's Castle Grayskull classics. Look at that. That looks so beast.
Right. But that's me. That's just my taste. But it's also very hard because the prices, the prices for the vintage. Because I don't want to collect it where it's used and it's bummy. It's very hard to get those figures used and find them in good shape.
Right.
Because they're so old. Especially with the rubber band, they get so tethered that they pop.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to get them, I'm going to have to get every piece brand new. Just for sake of peace of mind. And there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to afford that. I'm in a couple of He-Man groups that is all dedicated to He-Man vintage toys, new toys, and everything. And those guys, they're constantly post things up of like He-Man stuff that are vintage in box, mint on box. Dude, I think even the obscure characters that are really not that popular, like let's say Mossman maybe, he wasn't really popular.
Hey, that's who I'm trying to get. I got a picture of him on my screen right now.
Fantastic. The classic one of my favorites.
The classics. That's what my donation stream's been for. Like my birthday's on June 28th, and I've had this donation thing to get Mossman for like 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Mossman's fantastic. He's an awesome figure, and he smells like the moss, the pine, just like Stinkor smells like patchouli. And it was put in the actual plastic. When they melted it and created the mold, it was melted in the plastic. So he always smells like it.
That's crazy.
Which is really cool. Yeah, that's how they did it when Scott Knightley explained it. I got to reflock mines again, though. My daughter knows how to do it, so I'm going to reflock them. From cleaning him to take the dust off, there's no way around it. The flock comes off, with time.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, I'm looking at your stuff. Like, I know you probably can't put it in your head right now, but how much money do you think is sitting on that shelf? Like
honestly, I can actually give you a whole price because Mattel kept a record of the entire purchases you made, and all I have to do is sign in, and they'll tell me. My order history. I just don't remember how much it is. I think to the point of the very end was almost like a 9,000.
Jesus.
Because remember, I got them for the starting price, which was only $20.
Mm-hmm.
And these figures for $20 when they first started, they shit all over anything Marvel Legend, anything Star Wars Black Series, anything from any collection out there right now. They're just the quality and the height, the quality, the accessories, the paint level, the articulate, everything.
Wait, are you talking about 9,000 for just what you paid, or for what they could?
Oh, the entire thing.
Oh, so you're not even talking about what they could probably go for on eBay then?
Right.
Oh
right.
shit!
That was
so
what I paid
you take 9,000 and times it by like probably 10.
Right, but that's what I paid through the years because I got them at the price they sold them originally.
Oh wow, dude, you could buy a house with the
Remember?
figures.
So now, if you're gonna go aftermarket, you're gonna find some that are cheap, but the original ones, like we were talking about, the rare ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell no! Like I said, Fisto goes for like $400, just Fisto alone, and I paid $20 for him.
That's crazy, dude. That's who I'm trying to get. Also, is the royal family, King Randor and the Queen and stuff. I need the family.
Well, Prince Adam comes with Oracle.
I know, two figures for the price. Like when I got Filmation He-Man and Skeletor, they just threw Oracle in as a bonus gift. He doesn't have the wand or the book. So,
right.
And no Prince Adam. So I just have him. So I need to find like a loose Prince Adam somewhere.
Oh. That's pretty cool though, then they throw him in.
Yeah, and you threw in that He-Man and the little Lego, whatever they are, the He-Man and Skeletor, he threw those in free. He was a really nice dude. Oh my god, the Snake Man. Wait, how do you have a purple and white Snake Man?
Because I bought 2 packages of the Build-A-Figure Snake Man, and I told my daughter to customize it. My daughter's an artist, so she customized some of my figures, like even the paint job on some of my figures. If you notice, they don't look like they're supposed to come from the factory. Like my Trap Jaw, his eyes are all yellow. They're not with the little beady black eyes, because I wanted to make him more menacing. Same thing with my Spikor. And the same thing I did with my Manny faces. My Manny faces, I painted his eyes. Instead of having them black, I painted them white.
Dude, tell her those Snake Men look cool. That's a other black character I was talking about, the girl with the blue cape.
Oh, you're talking about Natasha.
Yeah.
The Trap Master. She's actually a very beautiful figure. Very
yeah, she's awesome, man.
But the thing is, she was from the Princess of Power line.
Right.
So what the idea behind the colors of the Snake Man was, I wanted one that was an albino snake, right? And I wanted one that looked like the same color of Tongue Lasher, like he was part of the Tongue Lasher race.
Cool.
And she painted these a while ago, but the funny thing is, when I clean them, some of the paint comes off, so they actually look more natural now, because they look like they got spots like the snakes do in their scales. So they look pretty cool.
That's awesome. There's this, who's that dude from She-Ra? He's right sitting next to Bow and Arrow. I know they never showed him as a character. He was always like the voice.
He's also very rare, because he was also a subscription exclusive. That's Light Hope. When you saw the Princess of Power cartoon, every time that She-Ra went into Crystal Castle, you know how when He-Man talks basically to sorcerers? In the cartoon, She-Ra spoke to Light Hope. But in the cartoon, the way they drew Light Hope was, he was just a big bright light. And the voices came out of the light. It was almost like a spirit or an entity. So they were like, how do we make a figure based off Light Hope, but make him into an actual figure or in figure form? Kind of like, think of it as what Daniel Benedict did for Castle Grayskull Man. Right?
Right.
So they came up with the concept of making him really cool, badass. He looks incredible too. He's a beautiful figure. Completely translucent in pink with gold and white shading. The staff, the tip of the staff is the actual Crystal Castle in the tip of the staff. Like they did cool things like Scareglow. He came with a chainmail that he was trapped in, and on the actual holster that holds the chainmail is Castle Grayskull on the very tip, and then when you open it up inside, there's a key. That key actually can open the door to the Castle Grayskull playset on the side of it when you put the key in. You can turn it and it opens it up. Yeah, they did little details like that to give that, that extra detail and love to the collectors for the for the toy line.
That's cool.
And obviously, if kids adapted it, that would be very cool for the kids.
Cool. I want to ask you another question before I forget.
No, ask away.
Okay, Super 7. Do you think they're gonna keep continuing the subscription thing, or?
So far, from the looks of it, it looks like that's the plan. The problem is they're so small in comparison to something like Mattel, right?
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to a company like Mattel, and they're so small that they're having a lot of problems with the warehouse. They're having a lot of problems with the distribution because the last batch of the waves that they brought out, they had a lot of quality control issues, either with joints being too soft and they break with a lot of breakages. The hip joints for Tila and Hawk were too spread out because of the pegs that they put, and some of them look way too wide, or they look like they had a kadunk-kadunk.
Badunk-a-dunk butt,
yeah. way too big. Which, to be honest, for me, I don't mind because I love sexy-looking female figures. I think that's cool.
Like Catcher, I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah, I just love the sexiness of them. I think they look great. And if they can make men with all these chiseled abs and all these muscle details, I don't see what's the problem with a beautiful figure having a kadunk-kadunk to represent women at the sexiest way they can,
Oh, Modulok, I want him.
Oh, Modulok is awesome. You actually put him together in pieces too, like the original.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very big and girthy. He's bigger than Mantenna. Like, he feels way big. And Multibot. I have an extra Multibot as well that I bought, a double.
And who is he? Like, I mean, it's like, first time I saw him, it's like, is that Modulok? Or who is this?
Well, Multibot was one of the last figures they created in the vintage collection. Like one of the last wave, like Ninjor, Snakeface, Squeeze, Sorceress, King Randor, Multibot, Blast Attack. Those were all the last waves. Those figures I never got my hands on when I was little because they only came out in Europe and not in America. So I never got my hands on them. And if they did come out in America, they only came out in significant places, like dedicated places. So I guess the stock must have been very small. And the prints of those figures. So those figures go for really high value if they're mint on card for the the vintage line. If you go check them out, they're really, really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they remade them in classics because I was able to have them and own them for the very first time myself. So the idea with him was just like Modulok. Make another Build-A-Figure, but instead of being a mutant alien race, they made him into Roboto. He's a multi-bot character. He can turn into different robots, and it's two robots in one. Like they were congenial twins or conjunct twins. I don't know if
he's a good guy or bad guy. I'm not sure if
he's actually a member of Hordak. Yeah.
Oh god dang it! I need to get him too.
Hordak, not Hordak, no Hordak. Of Skeletor. He was created by Triclops.
Oh, cool. What's funny is like I didn't know Stratos was supposed to be a bad guy and Triclops was supposed to be a good guy. That's crazy.
What, in the original idea, you mean? Because in the cartoon, in the vintage, Stratos was good and Triclops was bad.
Well, like if you look at the comics, like Stratos was with Skeletor, and then
at one point,
and then I guess when they were interviewing him, they said that Triclops was originally supposed to be like one of the good guys. And then
okay.
Excuse
me, I'm sorry. I can see that. I haven't read all the comic books, and I own the book. Rick him up.
And another thing that's, I guess we'll have to talk about. I guess we could start talking about the movie. I think this video is almost over, because I want to show some of the clip arts from the movie and stuff. We'll see if that's actually coming out or not. But so in the movie, they're saying that they are gonna make Skeletor and He-Man brothers instead of
nephew and uncle.
Keldor being He-Man's uncle, so they're gonna make them brothers. So
I mean, I think that'll. And real quick, I was going to show you guys because I didn't get a chance to. Here's another example of another figure. Here's the Lino from the Thundercats.
oh, nice.
From the set 4 Horsemen.
Hold on, let me see if I can get you up here real quick.
That's Lino. From the Thundercats line. So I hope they really finish it because I have Mumra, Wily Kit, Wily Cat, Lino, Panthro, Jackal Man, Hunter, I think Huntress, and Mumra in his form without becoming the ever living, just in mummy form.
That's who that new He-Man figure reminds me of. That's coming out, Wave 2. It reminded me of that Hunter thing from the Thundercats.
Okay, look, real quick, because you asked me earlier. Here's the book for the comics. Here's the actual book.
Yes, that's awesome.
You can see there, it says there, mini comics collection. Look how thick this thing is. So the illustrations are all, that's the back of it. It's very heavy. I need the one that says the details of every character. That's the only one I need. But it costs like $30 and I haven't bothered. These are the illustrations inside. All original illustrations.
Your video, you have so many characters. Your video is still going. We haven't even got to the top shelf. I like that elephant guy. He's like the fireman.
Oh, Snout Spout. He's the firefighter. And then look, this is the one that talks about all the toys and all the factions right here.
Nice.
Here's the back of it. A little quick tidbit too, to let you guys know, DreamWorks acquired Filmation. See that? Steven Spielberg's DreamWorks. So that's why we're getting a She-Ra cartoon this year on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I forgot we are getting a She-Ra cartoon. You think that'll hype stuff up a little bit?
I hope so. They're trying to stay true to the original. I mean, I don't think they're gonna probably talk too much about He-Man right away.
Yeah.
If it does well, they'll probably talk about it maybe in season 2, which I hope that's what happens.
So it's not like a new cartoon. It's like, I mean, it's not like.
Oh no, it's a brand new cartoon. It's a brand new interpretation.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's using the elements of the original. You see that illustration of Vicor that I was telling you guys? Look. That's the actual concept art of when they created. And then there's the figure one that they show when they first created it. And right here it has the old description. This book is awesome. I try not to touch them too much because I don't want them to get ruined.
That's awesome. Okay, I don't mean to interrupt, but okay, that dragon, that red dragon, I forgot his name.
That's Gradomir.
He's high value too, correct?
Yes, because there's the red one is the colors of the cartoon, Filmation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the green one was the comic book. I don't even have the green one because I didn't like the green one too much. They actually asked the fans to vote on that. And they did originally based off the fans' choice, and they chose the red one off the cartoon. But then for PowerCon, they did the green one as a PowerCon exclusive later on. And they also did the whole red Beastman from the comic. And they did a figure that came out as a hosh-posh, meaning created with a bunch of different parts, called Cobra Khan Camel, or Camel Cobra Khan. It's like a camouflage version of Cobra Khan. And he had like a concoction of all the parts from different figures.
Oh, yeah.
That he became very sought after. I think it was only in Spain that he came out. So they made him too, which I would love to get. Those are the only ones I'm missing. because I didn't want to pay that much for them.
So is the green one worth more than the red one, or does it cost more?
I don't know, to be honest, but I really wanted the all red Beastman, just so I could have him because I thought he looked cool. Also,
yeah, he does look cool.
Look, they have concept art here. Look, to give you an example, what you can expect from this book. Look of Ram Man, the way he was supposed to look originally, in the toys.
Oh, I'm glad they changed him.
Here's a concept of Stratos right there.
He kind of looks the same.
Yeah, the idea, yeah. I got the colors of the comic book one. He looks like skin. This is a concept of what the first Castle Grayskull is supposed to look like.
Skeletor's head. Nice.
That's what it looks like, yeah. Just to give you guys a general idea. Love the book. Very cheap. You can get them on Amazon because they're exclusive with Amazon.
All right.
So much beautiful artwork. So yeah, about the movie. Now that DreamWorks also has rights to the movie as well, with certain things. So now it's it's in the hands of Sony to allow the movie to be made.
They got a director and stuff, don't they? I mean, that's all I've been hearing is this director quit. This director picked it up. They didn't have the funds. Well, now they have the funds.
It was supposed to be David Goyer. He wrote the book. I mean, the script. It was supposed to be David Goyer, but then, he got so many projects he's involved, he couldn't squeeze it in there. Because the reason why Sony's trying to bring out the movie before the end of 2019, which would be December of next year, is because they're going to lose the rights to the licensing. So it expires. So if they let that happen, someone else can pick it up and they can't capitalize and try to make money off of it. And that's why they're doing that. The same way they're doing with Spider-Man. That's why they're doing the Venom movie, and they made the deal with the MCU to allow them to use Spider-Man in the MCU universe, and that's how they got the permission for them to make a brand new Spider-Man game exclusive to PS4, because they own the rights, the movie rights, Sony, to Spider-Man, and Activision's rights to the license expired. So they didn't renew it. They went straight to Sony to make a deal so that they can have Spider-Man in the MCU movies. That's how that exclusive came to me.
So you think they'll do it?
What do you mean, like as far as?
You think they'll get this movie made? I mean, has anyone been casted or?
Well, they have the director. They have the script. Now they're talking about the casting and looking for casting. It's in pre-production now, they call it, but it's supposed to really start filming. I think it's early next year. It starts to film, or late this year, one or the other. I know it's soon. That I know.
So if this movie comes out, of course they'll probably do another toy line with it.
Well, that's what you would hope. When you look, you see this promotion. What you call this when a poster with all the figures? They call that a sale thing. I forgot what was the proper name for it. That's one of the original ones where you saw all the characters. They got Prince Adam, got an Orange, Stratos, Cyclonus or Cyclone, a Sorceress, Ram Man, Manny Faces, Mechanic, Moss Man, Fisto.
Cyclone's always so dirt cheap on any line. I don't know why.
Yeah, and he's cool. The classic one, I recommend for you to get him and get the extra parts to make him look like 2000X. Because he looks so. Even the 2000X one, he looks awesome.
What do you mean extra part? Are you talking about a weapons pack or something?
No, and you get the heads pack that comes with the 5 heads.
Oh, gotcha.
He brings the head of what he looked like in the 2000X. And he looks really cool. He looks really, really good.
Yeah, some of this concept art, if they put this in the movie, oh my god, that looks Dude, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I want the movie to go through, just for the fact that I want, new possibilities with the toy line. That artwork was done by Val Staples. That's from the comic book, the newer comic books, to be honest with you.
Oh, nice.
That's supposed to be Manny Faces.
Yeah. I'm seeing Trapjaw right now. He looks freaking so awesome. But
I really hope. Oh look, let me show you real quick. I don't know. Oh no, but you're doing something right here.
Yeah, we're actually gonna wrap it up unless you got anything else to add about Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, no. We can wrap it up. I mean, I think we've covered pretty much everything we needed or wanted to for now. But I wanted to show you real quick. If you could put the camera on me again. But I was trying to tell you. This is the actual ad. Tell me when you on me.
You're on.
So I can show you. Okay, this is the actual ad here, right? What I was telling you guys of the contest that was done back in the 80s. And here's the ad showing the characters that were created. And Fearless Photog was the winner. And that was like a runner-up. But there's the ad.
Wow, dude, I remember seeing that eyeball character when I was a kid on some kind of magazine or something.
And they had no clue what it was about. Now you know.
Wow.
His name was I-Beam. It says vote now to help choose the winner in the Masters of the Universe Create a Character Contest. To vote for the characters you like best. Now the phone number shown above. That character picture and your drawing is included. That's crazy. That's so awesome.
That's so cool.
I had one character named Compactor, Brainwave, Nita, and the Fearless Photog. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing all your stuff. So we're thinking about doing this like once a month because, like I said, I mean I have a problem. Like if I'm looking, I always come to him for questions. I'm like, when's Wave 2 releasing? When's this happening? When's this happening? He's always got the answer. So I think it would be kind of cool to do, like one of these once a month or something and catch up on all the news. And
for sure.
We'll probably add other like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, whatever. But we'll try to keep it mostly Masters of the Universe news and stuff.
Yeah. We can talk about anything. I love this Rudy Obrero art. Castle Grayskull classic. Rudy Obrero's Castle Grayskull. That was the actual artwork from the toy packaging of Castle Grayskull.
Oh, it's one of my favorite pictures, actually. I love it.
Yes. You and many others. It was amazing. Yeah, I'm glad you invited me and glad you did. Me and Sonic are very diverse people as far as pop culture things that we like. So we have something in common, two things in common, really. Video games and Masters, which is awesome. So we can talk about not only video games, we can talk about upcoming toys, the vintage line. When we start getting more details about the movie, we can talk about that.
Dude, I guarantee you we're not the only ones that do this stuff. There's a lot more gamers that collect Masters of the Universe. They just haven't come out and...
Right, maybe. And maybe with this, they won't be afraid to come out and join us.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully. That's what I'm saying. Dude, being goofy and stuff, I wouldn't call it goofy. It's actually a good investment. I mean, this stuff, it's fun, it's cool, and I mean, I have a passion for it. Obviously, Hebot has a passion for it, but I mean, don't be ashamed of anything. Like, I'm not ashamed of it whatsoever. I think it's freaking awesome. Like, I love these characters.
Right.
Like, I'm like in VR, I'm like sculpting like Castle Grayskull, and
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that in your video. You're nuts. But it looks cool though. It's cool because you could just try and do your own things.
Yes. Okay, so Hebot, where can people find you and tell us where your channels are and stuff?
Well, you guys can find me basically here with Supersonic in this amazing episode.
I'll have to think of a good name for it.
You can find me on Twitter, Hebot Powerful Gamer, on Facebook groups with intromediagaming.com, with Project Xbox, which are the guys over there at the Micropod of X with Microbox, and Shermanator and Andrew McKee, which is awesome guys. My brothers from another country. Awesome Xbox and video game centric podcast, and also with the Infinite Rooms of the DX Mansion on Facebook as well as really all Xbox, because we wanted to create it because we see a lot of Facebook groups that just dedicate strictly to either all video games or to PlayStation mainly or and Nintendo, and not really Xbox. So the idea around it was to create all positive Xbox news, so that we wouldn't have the trolling or the hating, and just be positive about everything, and look at it as adults that we're supposed to be, and gamers that love the hobby. And also, last but certainly not least, my brothers and family at the Direct X show with Kaleidoscope, J Long 908, and obviously Ghost Rider, Mr. 100, E-Rock X, or as we know now, and Sega Forever, Flip Money. We do those tomorrow night. I think it's the episode, E3 episode that we're doing. I'm also part of them, which is a lot of fun, and they graciously accepted me and invited me, and it has been, we've been friends and gaming aholics since I joined. This has been real fun, Sonic. Thank you again. I hope we can continue this because it's different, and it's something that you don't see a lot of, at least not from our community around us that we know. And like you said, there's probably a lot of people out there that are the same and feel the same, but they're just afraid to come out and do it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. And hey, we might have a Masters of Universe video game. You never know.
Skeletor to King Randor! Skeletor to King Randor! Come in, you royal boob!
There's a video game that Chalingo did, but they actually closed down. That was a really awesome mobile game that I really wish they brought it out to console, because it was probably one of the better He-Man games that they made in a long time, because I owned the one for PlayStation 2 that was from Europe, and I imported it, but man, that game was horrible. So I just owned it for the nostalgia factor, but it was horrible.
Dude,
it was even almost
the one on PC. The one on PC is freaking awesome. Did you see that?
Oh, video? I haven't played it, but I know exactly the one you're talking about.
It's got Hordak.
Based off the yeah. I wish somebody picked up the publishing rights and brought it out to console. I would definitely play it. It's based off the Filmation art, right?
Yeah, it's all Filmation. It even has Thundercats in it.
Yeah, it's like a modded one that somebody created. Yeah, I know. That would be awesome. They brought it out because it looks dope. It looks really incredible. Really, really.
Heck yeah! All right, thank you.
I hope you guys had fun. I hope I didn't embarrass you. I hope I informed you enough that didn't keep you bored and you fell asleep.
No, and one more time, what's the release date of the Wave 2?
Wave 2, from the ramblings that's been going on, the word is going to be out the week, or start shipping out the week after San Diego Comic-Con. And I think they're supposed to, within the next week or so, they're supposed to announce the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from Super 7. So we're talking about maybe January 28th into August 8th, maybe? Around that duration, you're supposed to be getting the figures for everybody that, pre-ordered them.
On Wave 2? So next year we'll get them, you said?
Well, that's the second wave that we're supposed to be getting now. The one with
oh, okay, gotcha.
With Sorceress and Karg, and the Mummy guy.
Yeah,
that's the one that's coming out.
So you said end of June. You said they'll ship them out.
End of June, beginning of August, because that's when Comic-Con takes place. It's the week after Comic-Con. Supposedly, they start shipping out, according to what the guy from Super 7, the director, said. on his video blog. The same way they said that Strider is supposed to be shipping out also in August.
And the PowerCon exclusives? You think
those we probably won't get until the end of the year, like December.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on here, and we'll have more next month. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on, Supersonic. It's been a pleasure.
Heck yeah. Bye, everybody.
Have a good night, people.
Almost done.